Well, Duke won the toss, and the Blue Devils have elected to defer. And Elijah Green and Omarion Hampton are deep. And it will be the freshman Hampton who will catch it in the end zone, and Carolina will start from its 25. And if Carolina is having a successful season, there might be a Maye involved, right? In basketball a few years ago, it was Luke Maye. Several years ago, Mark Maye, his dad, was the quarterback, and now welcome Drake Maye to the process here.
This is a guy that is one of the best quarterbacks, has established himself as one of the best and most talented in the country. QBR over 90, which is good for best in the ACC. He's been fantastic.
Caleb Hood's the running back. First down. Maye wants to throw. Up in the pocket, going to take the deep shot for Antoine Green. And it's caught at the Duke 22-yard line. 10th catch of the year for Antoine Green.
Wastes no time as Antoine Green, just a little stutter, and then runs right by Speedy Young, Datrone Young. He's able to make the contested catch at the end of it. Antoine Green's emergence has been a big reason this offense has been as explosive as it's been.
53-yard throw on the first snap. That's Downs in motion to the slot on the left, and here's Hood's first carry of the night. And he will chew up about 3 on first down. Dorian Mausi. And Darius Joyner on the stop. Gain of 3. It'll be second down and 7.
How about Phil Longo, though, on the first play of the game, taking a shot downfield, had a deep over route, but Drake Maye liking what he saw on the outside, creating the big play.
Play fake by Maye. In trouble. Ball popped loose. He was able to fall on it. Dwayne Carter slapped it out of there for the Blue Devils.
And if Duke is going to have consistent success, this defensive line has to be good. Drake Maye a little sloppy with the ball security, leaving it down low. A nice job by Dwayne Carter of swatting it down. Carolina's been excellent on 3rd and longs this year, but this one is, there's not a lot of plays in the playbook, even for an offense as explosive as this, for 3rd and 15.
Tar Heels were 7 of 14 last week against Miami. Duke held Georgia Tech to 5 of 15 in the overtime loss in Atlanta. Maye shoots it deep, overthrows Downs, incomplete. Duke had Brandon Johnson playing deep. Jalen Stinson underneath in front of Josh Downs.
Drake Maye and Josh Downs not on the same page. Downs kind of throttled it in front of the safety and curled up. Drake Maye threw it deep down the field. It's cover 2, and so when Josh Downs sees those safety, tries to bend it between the 2 of them. Drake Maye throws it deep, and Duke able to get a 3rd down stop.
Noah Burnett will try a 46-yard field goal. Center of the field. And the kick by Burnett is through. So the long throw from Maye to Antoine Green got Carolina started. Maybe an unforced error on the fumble by Maye and then a missed throw. Roddy, they settle for the Burnett field goal.
I would say that series is a win for Duke. You get hit with a haymaker on the first play of the game on that throw down the field. Carolina tries to take the energy out. Mac Brown happy that his team got points, but if I'm Mike Elko, you took that punch, you steadied yourself, and then stood up on the next 3 plays to force a long field goal. Now your offense gets to go to work.
5 plays, 47 yards, a minute 42. The field goal to 47 or 45 yards for Noah Burnett, who now on the season is 7 for 8. Jalen Stinson will return the kick of Burnett. And we'll get to see Riley Leonard in his Duke Carolina debut. You think that favors Duke a little bit to hold Carolina to a field goal, Roddy?
Yeah, anytime you can hold this Carolina offense to a field goal, it is a benefit. But I mean, Duke played 4 plays on defense. 3 of them were good. One of them was a long pass down the field. So yeah, I think all in all, it makes that Duke defense feel pretty good.
Burnett going to hammer this. Stinson will not even offer a return. And the Blue Devils, with Riley Leonard, will begin from their 25-yard line too. We didn't know what to think when Riley Leonard bested Jordan Moore to win the Duke quarterback job in training camp, but after visiting with Kevin Johns yesterday. So far, so good for this young man from Fairhope, Alabama.
And I think Riley Leonard has been one of the big surprises in the league, alongside the guy that he's facing, Drake Maye. With his ability to command the offense, I think his short accuracy has been fantastic this season, and he is a great athlete at the quarterback position.
Jalen Coleman is out again tonight for Duke, so Jordan Waters starts with Leonard in the backfield. Quick throw, and this is Calhoun, who juggles and holds on to it, and he'll pick up 15, almost 16 on first down to the 41 before DeAndre Boykins makes the stop for Carolina.
Jalen Calhoun missed the majority of that game last week against Georgia Tech, and I thought this offense really struggled without him. He's taking himself off the field, kind of grabbing that hand. You hope that, if you're a Duke player, you hope that he's okay, because this offense had a tough time moving the ball the majority of time against the Jackets after he left the game.
Eli Pancol to the top of your screen has come in to the field side. Pair of receivers here to the boundary for Riley Leonard. And Waters will try the right side. And he will hit for 4, maybe 5 on the play before the Tar Heels make the stop.
So that last catch with Jalen Calhoun, you saw the bobble there. It seems like somewhere in there hurt that hand. Exactly see where it happened, but he's back out on the field.
Yep, there's Calhoun. 165th catch of his Duke career started the ball game for them. Second down after the Waters run and the stop by Murphy. Here's Leonard pushing it to the left side. Riley turns upfield and will cross midfield for a Blue Devil first down. Desmond Evans rides him out of bounds, but Riley Leonard shows you his skill set here, Roddy.
Well, UNC plays this great. Cedric Gray takes away Nicky Dalmolin, that's who Riley Leonard was looking for. Desmond Evans just gets outrun to the perimeter. Riley Leonard able to convert the first down. That's where he's so dangerous, when they can get him out on the edge. And there's not a defensive end around that's going to be able to run with Riley Leonard.
Terry Moore's come in the ball game, a young freshman they're excited about from Little Washington, North Carolina, with 7 carries and 36 yards on the season. Blue Devils first snap in plus territory, and this is Moore to the perimeter, and a first down for Duke. Cedric Gray takes him out of bounds at the 34. And Moore's second catch of the year, Roddy's a first down.
Just get the outside receivers kind of running off. There's a natural pick that happens with Cedric Gray. Flip it out to Moore in the flat. And with Jalen Coleman out, I'd expect to see Moore get involved to try and create some explosive plays.
Calhoun and Samir Hagans, the 2 slot receivers, to the field side on this 1st and 10 play. And the give is Moore. Inside the 20. First he catches a pass, and now Terry Moore runs for 14 and another Blue Devil first down.
Kevin Johns told us he's the fastest back in that group. Riley Leonard rides this thing a long time before eventually handing off to Moore. Get some good blocks out there on the perimeter. They put 3 receivers to the field on that one, and both corners traveled with the receivers, which gives you a clue that it's man-to-man. Those receivers, when they run deep, takes the defensive backs out of it. You get the seal on the outside and a big play.
3 receiver set with Pancol. That's Dalmolin, the tight end, in motion. And here's Leonard. Tried to keep it, and will squeeze off 2, maybe 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and about 8. Desmond Evans, the stop for Carolina.
This has been a good drive for Duke, and this is sort of indicative of who they are. They're a very good 1st and 2nd down team, and they're very good at creating 3rd and medium to short. They've had the lowest percentage of 3rd and 7+ in the league this year because of their success on 1st and 2nd down. They don't give up tackles for loss. They don't give up sacks. It makes it really hard on defense.
Here's the other thing, Roddy. They're working the clock, too, here with this possession and advancing the football to that.
That's very intentional.
Leonard, pressure coming around him. He'll bail inside the 10. Leonard to the 3 and down to the 2. 1st and goal for the Blue Devils on a terrific keep by Riley Leonard of 16.
Watch the middle of your screen. A hole the size of North Carolina opens up, and Riley Leonard takes advantage of it. And that's what makes them so hard. I mean, Carolina covered that well down the field, but you don't keep integrity in your pass rush lanes, and hole opens up. And Leonard's able to get down inside the 5-yard line. And look, field goals are not going to win this game. When Duke gets these situations, they're going to have to punch them in.
Blue Devils trying to score on another first possession to start a game, Roddy. And now Mike Elko wants a timeout. Gary Patterson awards the timeout for the Blue Devils. We take a break. 3-0 Carolina. Duke threatening when we come back. Well, Riley Leonard and the Blue Devils get ready for their 8th snap of this opening possession, Roddy, trailing 3-0. But this 8th snap, they've had plays of 15, 15, 14, and 16, and now it's first and goal at Carolina's 2.
They stayed on schedule. Now they have an opportunity to punch it in, which would be huge.
Waters with Leonard, and it is Jordan Waters into a stack. Did he break the plane? Yes, touchdown Duke.
What a statement drive for this Duke offense. 8 plays, 75 yards. Incredibly efficient and aggressive as they take the ball right down the field, punch it in the end zone after holding Carolina only 3. What a statement for Mike Elko's offense.
5th rushing score of the year for Jordan Waters. Charlie Ham makes the lead 7-3. Duke's now outscored their opponents 73-13 in the first quarter, Roddy.
And they run right behind the extra offensive lineman. Big number 4, Brian Foley, mixing it up. Usually plays guard. They stick him on the end of the line of scrimmage. You get a nice push. Then Jordan Waters keeps driving those legs, powers into the end zone for 6. And you know, when you're at home in one of these rivalry games, to have some success early, keep the crowd into it, especially when you're up against a potent offense on the other side, it's big for that team.
Wow, look at that. 13-1 when scoring a touchdown on the opening possession.
That's pretty good.
So now, Mac Brown's Tar Heels' second possession. We'll see them trailing 4 after the Duke touchdown drive. There's the National Football Foundation College Football Hall of Fame coach, who's second to Nick Saban among active coaches in wins with 270 entering tonight. Carolina will start from its 25. Let's go downstairs. What you got, TD?
Yeah, well, like you both mentioned, Duke holding UNC to a field goal on that first drive really energized this Duke sideline. Offensive coordinator Kevin Johns told us this week, we haven't scored as much as UNC all season. We know we're going to have to match them. So for the defense to set the tone early really provided some confidence for the offense, and they were able to execute accordingly.
Certainly does.
Terrific numbers. Now can Maye and the Tar Heels return the serve? First down, tried to go to Josh Downs just off his fingertips, and Joshua Pickett nearly ran into a pick.
There's a lot of freedom for these receivers in this offense. Josh Downs probably has the most of any of them, but I'm not sure why he settled that one down. It was man-to-man. He had a guy on his back. Drake Maye expected him to keep running. He shuts it down and ends up incomplete.
Duke with a 3-man front. Another quick throw. This is Downs again. A little circle out to the 35 and a first down for Carolina. 29th catch of the year for Josh Downs.
The short area quickness of Josh Downs is impressive. He catches that ball, gets right around the defender, and is able to knife up the field. Exciting to watch.
Here is Maye. Going to keep it. Called draw out of the Tar Heel huddle, and whoa! Mausi with the big-time tackle on Maye. No flag as Carolina reaches the 42. Second down.
Goes up high. wraps Maye up around the neck almost.
Tar Heels with a quick snap here. Maye to his left. Now will get the first down and slide safely with Shaka Hayward trailing at the 48-yard line of the Blue Devils.
Stop the presses, Wes. We've had a Carolina quarterback slide for the last few seasons between Sam Howell and Drake Maye. Not a lot of sliding going on, but there was a lot of talk this week with the coaching staff with Drake Maye about protecting his body because the team is better with him at quarterback.
Here comes Maye. Little shovel pitch, and this is Caleb Hood. And he will crack near another first down inside the 39 to the Blue Devil 38. By the way, that's another second-generation Tar Heel, Caleb Hood. Former high school quarterback, Roddy, turned running back in Chapel Hill.
He's really started to emerge. If he can stay healthy, they feel really good about his progression.
2-by-2 look. Hood will get another crack at it left side this time, and Hood inside the 30, 25 of Duke before Darius Joyner, the transfer from Western Illinois, makes the stop.
So really nice job by Awesome Richards and Spencer Rollin of opening up that hole for Hood.
13 more. Hood gets a third straight carry, and he will battle just inside the 23. While Duke is slowing things offensively, Carolina appears to be pushing it up through the gearbox a little bit.
Well, they're going to play their tempo, and this is a team that likes to press at times and try and get you tired. With their ability to run the football, if they can sort of get that going, they've been a great rushing team since Phil Longo and Mac Brown arrived. They have not been quite as good this season. If they can get that going, it'll help take that offense to the next level.
Here's Amarian Hampton spelling Hood and hammering away inside the 15. Another Tar Heel first down at the Duke 13-yard line. The freshman Anthony was the closest defender to Amarian Hampton. 10-yard run and a first down.
Almost like on this drive, Phil Longo has decided to see if Duke can stop the run. We saw a quarterback draw. We've seen a number of carries to both Caleb Hood and now Amarian Hampton. I would keep at it, keep challenging this Duke front.
Here is Maye, flips it on the perimeter, and that is Bryson Nesbitt, knocked out of bounds by Shaka Hayward. First catch of the night for Nesbitt, the 6'5", 230-pound sophomore who had 4 catches for 98 and a touchdown against Virginia Tech a couple weeks ago.
Listed as a tight end. This tight end room has been fantastic for Carolina today, or this year, excuse me.
10th play of the drive, Roddy. Second down from Maye. Slings it to the perimeter. Here's Downs and knocked back at the 5. He'll be a yard shy of the first down. Nice play in space by Jalen Stinson.
Tackling Josh Downs in space is as difficult as tackling anybody in the league. Stinson, who has been an excellent tackler. These safeties for Duke, Stinson and Darius Joyner, are 2 of the best tacklers at that position in the conference.
All right, you like Phil Longo's situation here, but you're 3rd and 2, short 2. Yeah. What are you doing here?
Well, honestly, I think you're trying to get Drake Maye on the perimeter or you're running the football. This is almost certainly 4-down territory for an aggressive Carolina team, and Mike Elko wants a timeout.
Boy, does he ever. He ran to the numbers. Pretty good athleticism out of the former Penn Quaker in the Ivy League.
Media timeout.
Timeout it is in Durham. Back in a moment. So 3rd and 2, and if you know anything about Carolina's 4th down tendencies, they might be in 2-down territory. Maye going a quick throw to Hood, and we got a flag. And Gary Patterson. I think we have procedure on the Tar Heels here. A little bit of a discussion with referee Patterson and his crew.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Whatever it was, Carolina had it in the play call.
They had all 3 tight ends in the game. Nesbitt, Copenhaver, and Morales were all lined up together. There they are, the 3 tight ends, who are all great receiving threats as well. And Bryson Nesbitt might as well be a receiver with his athletic ability. They're going to stay in the game. Interesting to see where they line up, where they line those 3 guys up.
3rd down now and 7 after the penalty. Nesbitt in motion. Here's Maye, throwback, Morales, touchdown Carolina.
It's a beautiful play design, Wes, by Phil Longo. Keeps all 3 tight ends in the game. You line up 2 of them to one side. Use Bryson Nesbitt almost like a slot receiver with the fake jet sweep. Morales just drags back across the flow. It's a touchdown.
Burnett to give the Tar Heels a 3-point lead.
Well, after Duke drives down and gets a touchdown, Carolina responds. 11 plays, 75 yards, and this touchdown pass from Drake Maye to a wide open Kamari Morales. Carolina up 3.
Well, we've got a terrific crowd here tonight at Wallace Wade Stadium in Brooksfield in Durham. And Roddy, they've come wearing all shades of blue tonight. Royal blue and light blue, even some navy blue sprinkled in. A few folks in white shirts, right?
It's a great crowd, and they have been treated early in this game.
And Stetson will watch that bounce. Let's get back to the Maye to Morales connection here.
There's a lot going on here. So you've got 2 tight ends. John Copenhaver pushes up the field, and Kamari Morales just drags across. When you get Bryson Nesbitt across the formation, Dorian Mausi gets kind of caught in between. He's responsible for Morales. So he kind of pushes Copenhaver out. Morales is already gone. Eyes in the backfield. Morales ends up wide open for a touchdown. It's a nice job by Phil Longo of using a personnel grouping, 13 personnel, 1 back, 3 tight ends, treating it like 12 by using Bryson Nesbitt as a receiver.
Here's the 24th snap of the ball game between the 2 schools. We've already had 10 plays of 10 yards or more. And Leonard bailing from the pocket to his left. He'll turn it upfield and get 4 on the scramble. And they'll measure it for the 29. So 2nd and 6 coming up. Kevin Hester was angling him out of bounds for Carolina.
Riley Leonard's legs have been the biggest weapon for this Duke offense so far. Carolina loses contain on the pass rush, and it leaves an acre of space for Leonard to pick up a nice chunk on 1st down.
Well, Hester first, and what power Eccles in full sprint for Gene Chiswick's defense. That's Calhoun in the orbit. They're going to hand the ball to Moore. He'll slip through. Terry Moore, and the touchdown saving tackle was Javari Ritzie. Or else the young freshman from Little Washington, Roddy, is standing in the horseshoe of the end zone.
He's going to hit his head on the goalpost. It's actually a nice job by Ritzie of pursuing the play. Moore made Cameron Kelly miss in the hole, and it was nothing but green grass. One of the 290-pound defensive end was able to track him down. Great pursuit.
Terrific run by Moore, who had just 7 carries for 36 yards, had 5 for 30 in Atlanta last week against Georgia Tech. Duke at its 46. And Moore again. Tar Heels stay home, play it well that time. Back to the line of scrimmage. Noah Taylor, who has been a terrific grad transfer for Carolina defensively with Eccles and Gray at the linebacking spot, Roddy. First guy there.
And I think if this Carolina defense is going to continue to grow, Noah Taylor has to assert himself as one of the best edge defenders in this league. He's shown flashes of it. Really nice pass rusher, big, long, and he's really sort of this whole defensive line. There's a lot of talent there, a lot of potential there, I should say. If they can improve their game, then this defense can hold up there into the mark.
2nd and the full 10 here for Leonard. And Calhoun the catch, but Gray not having it, and throws Calhoun out of bounds, and a flag coming on Cedric Gray. Mack Brown litigating.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 33 defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
Mack Brown certainly unhappy, but I actually thought it was a pretty good call at first look. He's got him there. It's exaggerated by him falling into the signs, but he does sling them when they are out of bounds. It's tough for a linebacker to know exactly where you are when that happens, but it's clearly a sling. You're clearly out of bounds. It's a call that's going to happen every time.
Ball to the 33. 15 yards plus territory possession for Duke. Leonard loads, throws for the end zone. Calhoun there, incomplete. Giovanni Biggers and Calhoun, this is a pretty good matchup.
It is a pretty good matchup, but it's a matchup that Duke's gonna like. Calhoun goes inside the corner, gets one-on-one with the safety, and honestly, the throw is better. It's a touchdown. If Riley Leonard has that a little bit further outside, a little bit less towards the goalpost, it's probably a touchdown, because the only reason Jalen Calhoun can't get to it is he has to cross the face of Giovanni Biggers.
First miss of the night for Leonard, his fourth first quarter miss of the year. That's Bowen Sims in motion. Leonard wants another shot. Inside route, and the catch is made. First grab of the night. First down for Samir Hagans. Cameron Kelly the stop.
Samir Hagans has continued to improve. Little RPO. Riley Leonard pulls it, slings it down the field. Samir Hagans had the punt return for a touchdown last week against Georgia Tech. He's got incredible speed. I think as the season goes on, he's going to continue to emerge for this Duke offense.
I remember we were here early in the year. Kevin Johns was talking about finding a way to get him more integrated in the packaging. It's just taken a few weeks.
And it's part of the growing and maturing of this offense. Riley Leonard raved about him as well.
First and 10 for the Blue Devils. On the perimeter, Dalmolin. And he will pick up about 3 on the play. Tony Grimes the stop, and of course, the Tar Heels have 2nd and 7 coming up, and Gene Chizik, a booth or two down from us here tonight. The assistant head coach for defense, Charlton Warren, and Tommy Thigpen are technically the co-defensive coordinators, but we spent a lot of time yesterday with the former head coach at Auburn.
He's always a pleasure to catch up
Absolutely.
with our former colleague here at ESPN, but he talked to us about the defense just continuing to evolve and simplify.
Leonard cracks the 15. He'll be short of the first down, so 3rd and a yard awaits the Blue Devils, and if they choose, that could be the final play of the first period.
Riley Leonard's toughness is something that I think is underrated. His ability to run the football, his willingness to hit it up in there behind those big offensive linemen amongst the big trees is something that's not lost on his teammates. And it's part of what keeps this offense on schedule after an excellent first half for this Duke crew. They're going to take this one, first quarter from this crew. They're going to take this one to the second quarter.
Yep. So the Blue Devils trailed by 3, but tell you what, Kevin John's got to be pretty happy with where his offense is. 16 plays, over 100 yards already. Carolina has responded. A Maye to Morales touchdown. The victory bell at stake tonight at Wallace Wade. Tar Heels lead after 1 by 3 on ACC Network. Got to start them young, Roderick.
Man,
you got to start them young.
Most of the stadium holding their breath right now.
Mike Elko in the middle of his first victory bell game. His team starts 3rd and 1 in quarter 2 off Carolina's 13-yard line. You see Big Foley, the converted guard, wearing number 4 on the wing at the right. They hand to Waters, and he will have the first down.
That play is pretty well defended by Carolina, but because Duke does most of their work on 1st and 2nd down, it makes it so tough. Or even if you defend a play well, that defensive line did a pretty good job of just a plunge forwards, able to move the sticks.
This second quarter has been pretty rough on both clubs from an opposing scoring perspective. Duke's opponents have scored 37% of their total points in quarter 2. Carolina, 36% of their opponents' points have come in quarter 2. Here is Waters, and right toward Power Eccles, and then had some help from Cameron Kelly. There's Eccles, if he doesn't play linebacker, Roddy, I don't know who does.
His name is Power Eccles, and he's got no gloves, the sleeves on, the cowboy collar, knee brace. I mean, the man just looks like he's held together by pure sheer will and duct tape. And he plays like it too. He is a fun player to watch with the wrist splints. He's a good player. He and Cedric Gray have done a great job in the middle of that defense.
11th play of the drive here. Leonard wants to throw on the perimeter. Calhoun the catch. He'll slip down at the 5 with DeAndre Boykins, who closed the show last week at Miami with the interception making the stop.
Watch Boykins at the very end of this route. There's just a little hesitation when Calhoun catches the ball, thinking that he might turn back inside, and that's what creates the space to let Calhoun get a couple extra yards. Yeah, Boykins just goes ahead and trusts it inside out, goes and makes the tackle. Maybe he prevents him from getting a couple extra, but still pretty good coverage there by Boykins.
Yep. Well, he and Downs are fun to watch in short space, right?
They are. Jalen Calhoun, Josh Downs, two of the most exciting guys in the slot in the league.
3 to the field on 3rd down for Leonard. To his right, Leonard has room. Wow, a big lick. Cedric Gray flips him over at the 2. It'll be just short of the 1st down. Cameron Kelly also there. 4th down. And Mike Elko wastes no time.
It looked like there was going to be a walk into the end zone, and Cameron Kelly closes the space and ends up flipping Riley Leonard. And this is something we're going to see a lot today. The offense is staying on the field, going for it on 4th down. Mike Elko took us through his process. They talk about this early in the week. When you cross a certain yard line, 4th and usually 4 or less, they're going to go for it. They're going for it here.
Duke 7 of 11 on 4th down.
Carolina's not been great defending him.
Here's a quick throw. Calhoun cannot haul it in. The Tar Heels get the hold. Momentum swing here early in quarter 2, Roddy.
Well, both of these teams are going to be aggressive on 4th down, and I think with a better throw, they might have a chance. But after a long drive, the Carolina defense forces a 4th down, gets off the field.
Well, Leonard 6 of 8. Duke runs 13 plays, 72 yards. Give it away on downs, and on 1st and 10, deep in his own territory, Drake Maye calls his own number for almost 5. Give the Tar Heels a little working room. Michael Reese, the tackle for Duke. There's a look at the young prospect. 6'3", 260 from Music City.
You've seen how big the quarterback run has been for both teams. Both of these quarterbacks have been excellent with their feet, and Prolongo trusting his deep in his own territory.
J.J. Jones with Josh Downs here on the near side. And Caleb Hood trying to scratch out a couple of yards. Let's go back to Duke's 4th down, Roddy.
You're going to see Jalen Coleman come back across, and there's man coverage with him. Storm Duck trying to keep up. He's actually got leverage. If Riley Leonard just leads him to the outside and gives him a decent throw, he's going to have a chance to knife up the field to get the 1st down, maybe score a touchdown. It's a good play call by Kevin Johns, just poor execution.
Hampton in the ball game with May. This is 3rd down for Carolina. Drake under duress. Here to the left side, tries to turn a corner. 1st down, 20. Flag thrown as he's banged out of bounds at the 24 by Brandon Johnson.
You're going to get an illegal blindside block on the true freshman Amarian Hampton. He didn't even need to throw the block. Drake Maye is well past. He peels back and throws the block.
Personal foul, illegal blindside block. Number 28, offense. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat 3rd down.
It's just a mistake by a young player. As I said, Drake Maye well past. Look in the middle of your screen as he comes back towards the goal line. Collisions. R.J. Oben,
yeah,
the defensive end, takes a 1st down off the board. And the rules now, the player has to see the block coming. The block has to come from the front. And throwing it back towards your own goal line is never advised.
Duke's got a little confusion here defensively, scrambling to get an 11th player on the field. Here is May taking the shot for Jones, who makes the catch. J.J. Jones at the 31-yard line and a first down.
How about the touch on this throw by Drake Maye? You get a post corner. Josh Downs is probably a little deeper than they would have liked him to be. The ability to manipulate the football, get it up and down right next to the sideline is impressive too.
Here's Hampton. And he will sneak out of bounds after a gain of 4. Darius Joyner comes into the ball game. Duke's leading tackler with almost 50 stops on the regular season. There's a good look at the young man from Roanoke, Alabama. Started his college career at Jacksonville State, then to Western Illinois for a year, and now a grad year at Duke. Maye with time, slips it to Hampton. 40. And oh, what a hit. Chandler Rivers, young freshman from Texas they're excited about, Roddy, took Hampton to the ground quick after a gain of enough for the first down to the 45.
Chandler Rivers, a guy that hasn't played a ton this year, but they found opportunities to roll him in, because you're right, they are excited about him. And these DBs are going to get their workout in. I mean, with the tempo and the number of deep routes that Carolina runs, you're going to have to roll those guys some.
Rivers draws Antoine Green to the bottom of your screen on 1st and 10. And this is Hampton. And he will run over the top of Joyner and Mausi, who helped combine to make the stop. Gain of 2. 2nd and 8, the next snap for Carolina. Maye gonna move the pocket to the left, wants Green back here at the near side, and incomplete. He got taken off the point, Roddy, it looked like, on his initial drop.
Phil Longo fired up. I think he wanted Drake Maye to take the shot initially, but looked like Maye was a little spooked by a couple of Duke defenders back there. But part of the thing that makes this tempo work for Carolina is the fact that Phil Longo, the play caller, signals everything in himself. So it helps with the tempo. He's not having to communicate to other people what the play call is and have them signal it. This is a situation where Mac Brown has likely told him, hey, you get it to 4 or less, we're going for it on 4th down.
Yep. 3rd and 8. Maye downfield and off the hands of the intended receiver, Gavin Blackwell. And Carolina, after Maye misses for the 4th time tonight.
Blackwell had an opportunity, just got into his body. When you're going down like that, so hard. She gets Carolina coming out to punt the football. This one a little too far outside of the range for Mac Brown.
The Irishman, Ben Kiernan, to punt. And
False start. Number 16, offense, 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
with Jalen Calhoun waiting, Carolina whistled for a false start. And Roddy, given the way Samir Hagan's returned punts last week, look, Calhoun's legit. He's got a terrific resume at this, but Samir Hagan's was playing with the hot hand, wasn't he?
He was. He got a great one to return.
Duke will watch this hit, and the Tar Heels will touch it up inside the 15. Drew Little, the long snapper, handles it. Timeout in Durham. Taco Bell welcomes you to the Live Más Student Section of the Year contest. Use the hashtag Student Section Sauce to get the committee's attention, and go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete.
It's a great crowd. I'm going to have nightmares about the mass that we just saw with the.
Is that a troubling thing for you later?
Very troubling.
Is it?
Yep. But look, this Duke crowd, this Duke community has really embraced Mike Elko in the Elko era. And obviously Carolina is always going to draw a big crowd. But when we were here at Temple, the student section was as packed as I've seen it.
Yep.
Until tonight, where they've got a great group. They got some Bojangles and the band.
Yeah.
Some attempts at dancing.
Blue Devils from the 12, trailing 3. Here's Leonard, play fake to Moore, and a batted ball that's almost intercepted. Looked like Murphy got a hand on it, and Biggers came within a whisker of the pick.
Riley Leonard had a receiver wide open, but Miles Murphy, the big defensive end, powering through 2 Duke players to get in the backfield. He's been playing banged up this year. You see that left ankle a little taped up. Giovanni Biggers almost had himself an easy pick 6.
Second in the full 10 for the Blue Devils. And this is Moore. And boy, Tar Heels rally. That's Murphy again, Roddy. Junior from Greensboro, who had 38 tackles, 9 for loss a year ago. That had just 3 in his last couple ball games. He's made back-to-back impacts here.
His star potential, but has been a little gimpy during this season. He's getting more healthy. Those last 2 plays show you. And this Carolina defense, you got Duke in a 3rd and long for the first time today. You have to be able to get off the field after Duke just forced a punt.
Noah Taylor's got 3.5 sacks. He's at the top of the defensive line. Leonard to his left. Taylor in pursuit. Leonard throws. It's caught. First down for the Blue Devils. Out at the 27, Jordan Moore on the ground.
Riley Leonard actually had Jalen Calhoun down the field if he wanted it, but creates with his legs, escaping the pocket. Noah Taylor spying him, but Leonard staring down the sideline, able to deliver. This is Jalen Calhoun, one-on-one down the field with Tony Grimes, had a step, but still able to convert. And that's a big one for Carolina on defense. 3rd and 10, you give it up. And this Duke offense continues to roll.
Pancol and Calhoun to the left. Moore here to the field side. And this is Jaquez Moore. He'll turn the corner. First down to the 40-yard line before Power Eccles makes the tackle. 13-yard run for Jaquez Moore from Live Oak, Florida.
Duke's had some success getting out there on the edge of North Carolina in the run game early. But that's why those 3rd and 10s are so big for both teams, because both teams do such a good job on 1st and 2nd down, where you're not going to get a ton of 3rd and long opportunities. Kevin Johns, I think he has done as good a job as any coordinator in the league this year with this Duke offense, turning them into a unit that is very, very efficient.
Terry Moore's come back in the game with Leonard. Here comes pressure. Leonard in trouble and cannot get away from the blitzing DeAndre Boykins, who got just enough of Leonard, and Duke loses ground back to the 26.
It's a nice job of just keeping Riley Leonard in your sights, diving at anything and scraping his feet. And I actually think Riley Leonard probably tried to do that spin a little too early, because if Boykins is a little bit closer, then he doesn't have time to recover. But even with the stumble, he's able to swipe at the feet of Leonard.
2nd down, 24 now, after the first sack of the night for Carolina. Leonard straight ahead, 35, 40, and Leonard's loose. Riley Leonard, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown Duke.
Kevin Johns on 2nd and long goes with a safe call. Quarterback draw, let's just get a little bit of yardage back, make it a 3rd and somewhat manageable. And the offensive line got out in front. You could see Riley Leonard pointing to him once he scored. It was all them. Got out in front, found work down the field, get a hat on a hat, quarterback finishes it with the speed in the end zone.
Charlie Ham for the point. 4-point Blue Devil lead.
Well, the play before, Riley Leonard gets tackled for a loss, but this time he gets a block from his running back, he gets a block from his offensive line, makes a cut, gets in the open field, finishes it with the speed. And a moment after disaster, there is elation on the part of the Duke Blue Devils. Mike Elko loves it because his team leads 14-10.
Well, Riley, Leonard, and Duke back in front, 14-10, after the Blue Devil quarterback went 74 yards. Charlie Ham's kick will not be returned. Carolina will start from its 25, and let's get a look at our Bojangles big Bo moment from tonight's game, Roddy. And boy, this one's easy. He's got 97 yards of rushing and 74 on one swing.
Yeah, and I think if you're going to give Bojangles to anybody, it's the guys up front. Terry Moore throws a block. You've got a couple of others, including Jacob Monk in there. Riley Leonard does the easy part with the speed in the end zone, turns around and says, hey, offensive line, that was you guys. You guys have earned the Bojangles today.
So now Carolina trailing 4, and Riley Leonard, you see, the longest run of his career, and throw in another 69 yards of passing, and he's helped Duke to a 4-point lead. Now Maye and the Tar Heels. We get a delay of game here? Sure did.
Delay of game.
Wow.
Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Rarely do you see it on the first play of a possession.
Yeah, and I think that's just a young quarterback losing track of where the play clock is. They may have been slow getting out on the field too. But it's going to put Carolina behind the sticks.
5th penalty for Mac Brown's team. Duke yet to be flagged tonight. Here is Maye from the pocket, and Nesbitt the catch and slipped to a knee. That's going to be ruled incomplete. Both the head linesman and the line judge from both sides of the playing field signal the incomplete.
And as good as Drake Maye's been, there have been stretches where the offense has kind of gone into a lull a little bit. Looks like a pretty good catch to me. From that angle, it looked like he was under it. I didn't see the ball hit the ground. I would expect them to take another look at this.
2nd down, 15. No signal. Here is Maye. Drake Maye will keep 30, 35, and a first down for Carolina. Shaka Hayward and Darius Joyner, the tackle for the Blue Devils, a 16-yard run.
Well, it doesn't end up mattering, but I'm a little surprised that we didn't get another look. Based on the one look that we saw, I mean, Bryson Nesbitt was going down. It looks like it hits the hands. I mean, perhaps it's between the hands, but the replay officials certainly have more angles than we saw just there.
Right.
But it doesn't end up mattering because Drake Maye's able to pick up the first down.
Here is Maye, tried to make a quick throw of it, and it is ruled a fumble, and Duke has recovered. Are now flagged incomplete. Oh, it is a fumble and recovered by Shaka Hayward. The head linesman came in signaling incomplete. Gary Patterson confirms a fumble. Duke, who entered the ball game number 2 in the country in fumble recoveries, Roddy, gets one here.
Well, Caleb Hood's elbow just knocks it out, and it's a bit of misfortune for Carolina. The hand clearly empty as Drake Maye starts to come forward. It's a good call by Gary Patterson. The ball out, and Rob Smith's defense, they forced a punt. Now they get a turnover. And Duke's got great field position.
Sure do. They're going to review the play. For the time being, the Blue Devils look like they have it near Carolina's 35.
Of course they have.
And there's no breaking news there, is there?
There isn't.
No, they're in their separate rooms watching, right?
Good for them.
Yeah. More coming up at the half with the ACC huddle. After the fumble, Duke takes over, plus territory. Carolina 33. And on the edge, this is Jordan Waters. Flag thrown behind as Waters is brought down at the 16. Neighborhood of a hold, perhaps, against the Blue Devils.
Holding, number 63, offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's on Jacob Monk, who's starting at left guard for Maurice McIntyre.
You're going to see 63 right here. That's where the hold's going to be. Defender trying to release. It's just got Cedric Gray kind of around the shoulder pad. It's not much, but it's so long that I think that's where he gets called. And Jacob Monk's done an excellent job. After Maurice McIntyre went down, he bumps out to right guard. Chance Lytle flips over to the left side. Jack Burns slides in. But Monk has been one of those guys who has graded out the highest on this offensive line, a real leader, a captain for this team.
Samir Hagans, Nicky Dalmolin to the left side. 2 receivers. Moore and Calhoun here to the right. Leonard wants to run, tries to slip, spins through, and Riley Leonard to the 30. And we go under 4 minutes. Second down coming up for the Blue Devils. Don't forget, coming up tonight, 11 Eastern, following our coverage approximately, the ACC Huddle Crew, the complete wrap-up of our game here in Durham, the whole day in the conference. Highlights, analysis, interviews, you name it. Jordan Cornette, Eric McLean, EJ Manuel, Coach Rick in our ACC Network studios.
EMAC and EJ usually sit next to each other. You think they're doing that today?
No, sir. Not right now. They may have earlier today.
Yeah.
Here's Leonard now, second down and a half dozen. He'll hand to Waters, running room to the left side, and a first down for Duke. Big lick from Cameron Kelly, but a Blue Devil first down. Duke only has 1 timeout, by the way, as we wind our way down this first half.
Yeah, Mike Oko having to use the other 2 earlier. Check out this hit, though, by Cameron Kelly. Better watch out. If he'd have made contact with the helmet there, with the crown of the helmet, the head was down, would have been targeting. So just, it's probably a coaching point for later on. Gets away with one there. But how about Duke? I mean, they get behind the chains, and they're still able to, in a couple of plays, get a first down without having to get to a third down.
That's Calhoun in the orbit. Waters slips through the tackle behind the line. Kelly another tackle. This one at the 14-yard line. And we've got an injured Tar Heel in the secondary.
Hope that he's all right. Sometimes those are scarier than they are painful. Like you get an initial thing of pain and then you just lay down to make sure you're okay. You do the check, the checklist. My ankle okay? Can I move it? My knee okay? Can I move it?
Well, Duke has taken a moment to huddle. Let's check with Taylor.
Well, guys, I spoke with Riley Leonard this past week coming off the Georgia Tech game, which he said was his worst game. And I asked him how that affected him. He said, I think it actually made me more competitive because I hated how it felt so much. He said, if I had made fewer mistakes, I believe we would have won that game. It's up to me to put our team in better situations, and how I do that is not forcing as much. He said, I know I'm capable with my legs, but I have to be smarter so that everyone around me is more effective.
He's done a really nice job of that today, Taylor. There were some missed throws in that game. Responded late against Georgia Tech and really built on that momentum today.
So now second down and 3. Leonard again will offer Waters the football. And he will dive toward the 10. I think that's enough for the first down. Roddy mentioned Ra Dilworth. He's the guy that helped out on the tackle. And now North Carolina has taken a timeout as we go inside of 2 minutes here. Should be enough for the first down, and it is at the 10-yard line. Don't forget, coming up tomorrow, Sunday Best on ACC Network features a volleyball doubleheader, 1 o'clock Eastern time. Notre Dame welcomes Virginia Tech to South Bend. Then at 3, Syracuse and North Carolina. Both matches right here, part of Sunday Best on ACC Network, always available for you on the ESPN app.
It was smart of Mac Brown to take a timeout. He's got a quick strike offense. You're trying to give that offense enough time to work no matter what happens at the end of this. His team, after a hot start, it's sort of just been disjointed, especially offensively. They haven't really strung together, but the one drive, other than that, Duke's defense done a nice job against them. And then defensively, they got a lot to figure out. Keeping contained is probably the biggest thing because Duke's had a lot of success out there on the edge.
Blue Devils already with 184 yards of rushing. They average just better than 190 a game this season. And here goes Moore to the edge, inside the 5, tackled at the 2. Close to another Blue Devil first down behind the hard run of sophomore Jaquez Moore, Roddy.
And it feels like we've seen over and over Duke be able to reach the defensive ends of Carolina, and then there's nobody outside. The number of times where Duke's been able to get out on the perimeter with a blocker out in front has to be top of mind for Gene Chizik as they go into halftime, because they've been absolutely carved up. I mean, watch the edge there. Desmond Evans gets pinned down. You get two guys coming across. Power Echols goes under the block. And the center, Jack Burns, is able to get up to a safety, Cameron Kelly, and that's been happening over and over and over. So Gene Chizik at halftime, they're gonna have to figure out a way, either with alignment or maybe trying to slant to the field a little bit to make Duke turn back towards Power Echols and whoever's in there with him, whether it's Ra Dilworth or if we see Cedric Gray come back in.
Jaquez Moore in the ball game. Second and short.
Sorry, Wes.
Yep. Down Mullen in motion. They're going to hand to Moore. Reroutes, breaks the plane, touchdown Duke. Evans had a shot at him, but couldn't break him. Couldn't get to him, Roddy, before he crossed the stripe.
Tom, I think you did get a slant by the Carolina defense to the field, but they overcommit. Moore slips behind him, goes out the back door a little bit, and is able to get in the end zone. And how about this Duke offense? We talked all week about the Carolina offense. Would Duke be able to keep up? The better offense on the field tonight has been in black.
Jaquez Moore, his second rushing score of the year. Charlie Ham to make it an 11-point game.
Duke offensive line moves a big defensive line for Carolina. Desmond Evans avoids the block, but he's on the backside. There's only so much he can do. How about Jaquez Moore? I think this running back room for Duke is a little bit underrated. They've got a bunch of guys. Jalen Coleman not playing tonight, but Jordan Waters and the two youngsters, Jaquez Moore and the freshman Terry Moore, form a really talented group that Kevin Johns has been able to take advantage of, and they are swag surfing.
Trooper Taylor's involved.
Yes, sir. He brings the swag all the time. He brings the riz.
3 touchdowns and 4 Blue Devil possessions here in the first half, Roddy.
I think the way they've done it too is the most impressive, with long sustained drives.
There'll be no return. Carolina will have 1 timeout and 98 seconds to go in this first half.
All right, if you're Carolina, Duke's going to get the ball first in the second half. And so cutting it to 21-17, I think, is big. Obviously, getting a field goal, you would take it. But after that first drive for Carolina, which had the big play, ended in a field goal, they had the long 11-play drive, but since then, 9 plays punt, and then the fumble.
Yep, 3 plays and a fumble. And now from the 25, Maye, who's thrown for 117, gets his 8th completion in 13 throws. And it's a gain out to the 32-yard line by Bryson Nesbitt.
I like the easy pitch and catch to get started. Let your quarterback see one in the hands of his receiver.
Yep. Here's another one. This is Hood on the receiving end. First down, and Caleb Hood high steps out of bounds to the 43. Joshua Pickett there for the Blue Devils.
Get closer to midfield. I would not be surprised to see Carolina take a shot down the field. They've had some success getting past these Duke corners.
Blue Devils only rush 3, and that is off the hands, thrown slightly behind Nesbitt, the intended receiver. Shaka Hayward was tracing Nesbitt's steps, the Blue Devil linebacker.
Now playing with 3 safeties deep, and just another example of Carolina. The quarterback, Drake Maye, and the receivers not on the same page. Drake expecting them to sit. Bryson Nesbitt continuing in a little bit further.
A little game management here by Gary Patterson's team. His unit, they've got to get the ball spotted properly to the 43. Blue Devils again rush 3. Maye shoots it for downs, and he'll be tackled at the 47. Mack Brown has a timeout as we work toward a minute to go.
think they're okay right now, just working with their tempo.
Another quick snap. Here's Maye to his right. Now he'll pump and dive for what should be the first down. At the Blue Devil 47-yard line, they will stop the clock to move the chains. Rivers was involved in tripping up Drake Maye. Here's Maye, pumps, now looks, deep shot, Antoine Green inside the 10, keeps his feet, steps out of bounds. He was able to, they measure it to the 12, Roddy. Terrific catch by Antoine Green.
Well, it's a great catch, and he's actually forced out of bounds, well out of bounds, and then establishes himself back in the field of play, catches it right ahead of Joyner getting there. They tried to go cover two. The DB, excuse me, the corner did a nice job of forcing him to the sideline, but that made him so wide that Darius Joyner couldn't quite get over there in time.
Here is Maye. To his left, he will keep it at the 10, the 5, and nicely step out of bounds. Did not go to the air, Roddy.
I was holding my breath. I thought he was going to jump from the 5 after what we saw a week ago against Virginia Tech. But again, that's been part of the conversation with Drake Maye. Hey, you have to be smart about when you decide to do those things. You are the quarterback of this team. Get out of bounds. You'll have more opportunities to get the ball in the end zone.
So first or second down and about 2.5. Maye cannot take a sack. Will throw it through the back of the end zone, incomplete. He was being forced by Michael Reese in the pocket.
It's great defense by Duke. They have those 3 tight ends in the game again, all lined up to the same side. They were trying to slip Caleb Hood into the flat behind him with those 3 blocking.
I'll tell you, Reese played a nice first half.
Reese has done a nice job, you're right. They took out John Copenhaver, but you've still got 2 of the tight ends in the slot to the top of the screen, Nesbitt and Kamari Morales. Josh Downs alone to the bottom.
Here is Maye. Field kind of opening up for him, rolls to the right, shoots it to the end zone. It is caught. Is it a touchdown? It is for Caleb Hood.
It's a statement drive for Carolina. They needed a response before halftime. They needed some success in this first half offensively to get back in a rhythm. Mike Elko disappointed, but this Carolina offense is as explosive as any. There's a little bit of a discussion there, it looked like, about going for 2 between Mac Brown and Sparky Woods, but he elects to kick the extra point.
And the kick is good. It's a 4-point game, but another look at Maye's second TD pass.
How about the catch by the running back? Hands catch on the sideline, 2 feet in bounds. That's a catch on Sundays, Wes. But the understanding by Caleb Hood that when his quarterback starts to scramble to the same side, come back down towards the pylon, check the feet out. Boom, right there, 2 feet in bounds. That's excellent. 2 feet, touchdown. Who says running backs can't catch? We can play receiver too.
9 plays, 75 yards, minute 25. Maye now with 2 touchdown passes. Roddy gives him 23. Will Rogers of Mississippi State playing tonight in Lexington against Kentucky at 22. C.J. Stroud, by the way, has the weekend off at 24.
I don't know, he still might throw a touchdown pass this weekend.
Even against bye week?
Yeah,
against the bye.
The way that offense has been going.
Yeah.
Probably somewhere in Southern California just slinging touchdowns. But that's the danger of leaving time on the clock at any time for this Carolina offense. But that drive was sort of quintessential Carolina offense. The quarterback using his legs, you had a deep shot down the field, and Drake Maye created.
That ball is skipped at the 5 and fielded. And this is Stenson making a move back up the field, banged out of bounds at the 25. 26-yard line. Will Hardy, the tackle for Carolina, a freshman from Lawrenceville, Georgia. 38 points in this first half. Right, it's been wall to wall now.
Oh, it's been fun, and we expected offense. I don't know if we expected Duke offense to be the one on the front foot, but Mike Elko's defense, I thought it played pretty well in the first half, all things considered, forcing a punt early on, creating a turnover.
Yep.
And so this Duke team, a lot to talk about going into the half, but this was a first half that was incredibly, look, we've been talking a lot about the rivalry. Yep. It was incredibly exciting, and it certainly lived up to what this rivalry has been. Hope we get a second half that's much the same.
Yeah, Mac Brown, the Tar Heels, will watch Duke get the football to start the half and lead by 4. Will Mike Elko's team. Riley Leonard's been terrific for the Blue Devils. And let's go to Taylor with Mike Elko.
All right, Coach, I know there was some frustration on that last UNC drive, but your defense was optimistic early. How can they continue that?
Yeah, we just got to figure out ways to keep making stops. You know, they're going to be good. They're explosive. We just got to find ways to keep making stops.
Now, your offense, very efficient in this first half, led, of course, by Riley Leonard. What more do you want to see there?
Yeah, keep doing the same thing. You know, we know they're going to come hard in the second half. We got to continue to raise our level, keep putting drives together.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
All right, Taylor, thanks. Mike Elko, thank you. Riley Leonard, Drake Maye lived up to the hype.
It's been a battle of 2 of the best quarterbacks in the league, and I can assure you it's going to continue after halftime.
A full 30 in quarters 3 and 4 from Durham. But first, off to the ACC huddle. Here is Jordan Cornette. All right, opening possession of half 2 will belong to the Blue Devils, who have the 4-point lead. And I just said to you a moment ago, it feels big. Feels like it's an important possession, really, for both schools.
It does. I think for Duke, you have to continue to extend this lead to 2 scores so that Carolina feels like they're chasing the game constantly, putting pressure on that crew and putting pressure on that Carolina defense to make stops.
Burchett's kick to start will bounce through the end zone. The Blue Devils will start from their 25. Let's check in. Taylor Davis with Mac Brown a moment ago.
All right, Coach, you mentioned to us this week Riley Leonard's athleticism. He showed that early. How is he challenging your group?
He's running the ball. He's running for 120 yards, 74 on one play. The biggest difference in this ball game, we haven't stopped the run like we had to. They've had the ball a lot more than we have, so they're keeping us off the field offensively. And the 2 plays are the turnover that led to 7 points and the 74-yard quarterback draw. So that's 14-point swing. So for us to win this game, we've got to stop the run, and we can't let the quarterback beat us. We can't let 13 beat us.
Your offense took advantage of that last drive before half. How do you continue the momentum?
Well, that was a great uplifting drive for us because it gave us a chance, got us back in the ball game, gave us a lot of momentum going into half. So this first drive, second half is really important.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, and on the first play, Pancol catches a 14-yard shot from Leonard. So Duke looking at a 1st and 10, and it's 39.
And Duke's game plan has worked to perfection. Not necessarily bleeding the play clock, but not working with any sort of urgency offensively, shortening the game.
Here is Waters trying to get to the perimeter, and Cedric Gray hits him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1.
It's where Duke had a lot of success in the first half on those runs to the outside, trying to get to the edge of the Carolina defense. Number 10, Desmond Evans, does a nice job of leveraging the football and forcing it back in to those linebackers. It's a really nice job by the defense of keeping leverage and forcing the ball back inside.
2-by-2 look here for Leonard. He'll dump it to Waters. Trying to get to the corner, flag thrown. He's taken down at the 42 by Gray. And a penalty on Duke, and it gets Jacob
Illegal
Monk.
block in the back. Number 63, offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Well, it's a nice job by the defender. It's Power Eccles. So here's 63, Jacob Monk. He's going to come out and block Power Eccles, who kind of ducks down and only gives him his back. So it forces him to push him in the back. And it's pretty obvious blocking the back.
A pretty good sales job by Gray, or Eccles rather.
No, when you're running like that, you get shoved in the back. It throws you off balance. Maybe a little bit.
Moore has come into the game. Jaquez Moore, the running back. Here's Leonard trying to go again with his feet. Carolina handles that nicely. Javari Ritzy. Roddy stayed home to stop the quarterback run.
And he did a nice job of pushing the pocket a little bit and then folding back under. As these defensive linemen continue to rush the pass, you sort of get a feel for the passer's rhythm, for the quarterback's rhythm. Did a really nice job there of folding back, closing the hole, and forcing Duke into a 3rd and long. Mac Brown talked about the importance of this drive. This play feels really big for this Carolina defense.
Duke was 2 of 3 in the first half on 3rd down. Leonard, pressure coming. This is Panko. Trying to find a running lane and knocked out of bounds at the 40. Ra Dilworth, who did not play in the last couple of ball games for the Tar Heels, makes the stop here.
Watch at the bottom of your screen, the absolute destruction of the block by Cedric Gray forces another Duke offensive lineman to come out. I mean, he absolutely throws Nicky Dalmolin. Jack Burns has to get out there and block him. And Dilworth's able to clean it up.
4 plays and a punt. Here's Porter Wilson for the first time tonight. Josh Downs at the 12. Looking for room at the 15 and no more. So Carolina will take over actually at its 14-yard line. So we see Leonard for 4 snaps, and here is Drake Maye. Back to work for the Tar Heels. And here's the QB numbers, Roddy.
Yeah, Drake Maye, as you can see, has done his mostly through the air. Carolina only had the ball for 11 minutes and 34 seconds in that first half. So they've been sort of choked of the ball because of Riley Leonard's success. 109 yards, 74 of those coming on one play. There was also a sack in there as well. Riley Leonard has been incredibly efficient. Missed the fourth down throw, but that really the only mistake.
Drive will start with a handoff. Here's Caleb Hood. And he picks up almost 8 on first down. So Hood, a 7-yard run. Tar Heels underway, Taylor.
Guys, a slight Duke defensive injury update. Quarterback Datrone Young is actually spending some time in the medical tent right now. They're tending to his ankle. Looks like he's getting extra wrap put on it, so he is out of this one right now.
Made a throw on 2nd down in traffic. Tough catch. Bryson Nesbitt hangs on. Pretty big collision at the 32 with Jalen Stinson.
Yeah, but with Datrone Young out of the game, it makes him really young at corner. Joshua Pickett, a sophomore, and Chandler Rivers, a true freshman.
May wanted to cut that loose. Now Dwayne Carter's got him and will sack him. And a flag will be thrown for the takedown.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 90, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Dwayne Carter has to take the quarterback down to the ground. Doesn't slam him, doesn't land on him. He actually lands on top of Dwayne Carter. That's a bad call.
Here is Hood. After the penalty, moved the football to the 47. Caleb Hood gets almost 6. It'll be to the 48. It's a 5-yard run for Hood into Duke territory.
And now this Duke defense has to rebound. They were pretty good in the limited spurts in the first half. Gave up some big plays, but forced a Carolina punt, and we're fortunate on the turnover.
Here's May. Now he'll move here to the left and keep. 1st down, steps out of bounds near the 39. So another 1st down for Carolina and Drake Maye. Roddy, one more thought on the QB thing. I understand we're talking about health and safety. I get all that, right? And some of this is coming off things that have happened in the NFL in relationship to Tua Tagovailoa and others, right? But we're now making a play that we knew the parameters of 3 weeks ago, subjective.
Yeah, and the quarterbacks are big and they're athletic, and you have to be able to take them to the ground. If you don't want them to, blow the whistle earlier.
Hood.
And then it won't happen.
Hood got blasted head on by Darius Joyner and Shaka Hayward. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10. You see Caleb Hood come out. And Elijah Green has come into the ball game.
Remember, Amarion Hampton, who normally is the second guy to trot out there, had the illegal blindside block in the first quarter, freshman mistake. Opting to go with Elijah Green now.
And Elijah Green, who was probable coming in. Now they're going to take the shot for Downs, and Josh Downs holds on at the 1. Another big-time catch by Downs.
One of the most underrated parts of Josh Downs' game is his ability to make contested catches down the field. It's a great throw by Drake Maye, putting it on the outside shoulder. And then Josh Downs goes up, high points the football, makes the catch.
And Elijah Green punches in the touchdown. Just like that, Carolina takes their first possession of the second half, and the Tar Heels have the lead.
It's what Carolina likes to do after these big plays. They tempo you quick to the ball, quick snap, plunge it into the end zone. And Phil Longo's crew, their first possession of the second half, takes the lead.
7 plays, 86 yards in 2:45. And the point after from Burnett makes it a 3-point Tar Heel lead, Roddy.
Well, Drake Maye to Josh Downs has come up big for them over and over. The contested catch by Downs, a tough one fading away towards the sideline, and then the plunge in the end zone by Elijah Green takes the lead for the Tar Heels.
Elijah Green's first career touchdown on his 30th career carry as a Tar Heel has given Carolina the lead. Burnett will kick it away, and Stinson will watch it fly over his head, so the Blue Devils will start their second possession of the second half off their 25. And a moment ago, Josh Downs, another terrific play. Roddy set up the Elijah Green touchdown, and what a magical season a year ago, right?
Yeah, led the league in receptions with 101, led the league in targets with 144 last season. Both of those one ahead of Jordan Addison. And he's been banged up this year, missed a couple of games, but this catch set up that Carolina touchdown, and it's part of his game that I don't think he gets enough credit for. His ability to go up, high point the football, bring it down.
His dad, of course, Gary Downs, the great former NC State star in the early 90s. Here on the perimeter, and this is Terry Moore, the freshman from Washington, North Carolina, going to work. But he can't get very far on the perimeter throw from Riley Leonard.
Giovanni Biggers, nice job. Excuse me, DeAndre Boykins, that was. Nice job defeating the block out there on the perimeter, force Moore back in. And I'm sure this defense had to look themselves in the mirror with their performance in the first half. They'd made some strides in the past couple weeks, but Duke really did a nice job, not only of being able to run the ball with the running backs, but the quarterback run game was big for him.
Yep. Here's Leonard. Couple of claps, throw to Calhoun, slips the first tackle. First down, Duke. Jalen Calhoun fights to the 41 before Power Echols finally gets him on the ground. 16-yard throw.
Part of the improvement this Carolina defense had made was in tackling, but it creeps up again right here. The inability to bring down a really talented receiver in Jalen Calhoun makes a couple guys miss before Power Echols eventually wrangles him.
Boy, Leonard pushed that ball in there too, Roddy.
Yeah, he did. The short passing game, they've gone to that a couple of times in the second half, and that's what keeps this Duke offense on schedule.
Ball at the 41. Blue Devils trying to answer the Carolina touchdown a moment ago. Leonard to his left. Pressure coming, throws it incomplete. DeAndre Boykins has become a factor, and now a flag's going to be thrown. Roddy, is this going to be going low on the tackle?
Boykins went too low, yeah, which is, I mean, that one's in the rule book by the letter of the law. It's a correct call.
The passer was not in the passing posture at the time of the pass.
Wow.
Flag's going to be picked up because he was out of the pocket. You're not afforded those same protections, and honestly, I think he hits him just above the knee and then sort of slides down, and that's what makes these things so difficult. But out of the pocket, so no penalty for roughing the passer on that one.
Stays 2nd and 10 for the Blue Devils. 4 and out on their first possession. Leonard looking, quick throw inside. That got broken up on the way to Jordan Moore, and that was Storm Duck.
So Wes, on that roughing the passer penalty that was picked up, we're being told, we couldn't hear it because of the referee mic, we're being told that he said that the passer was not in the process of passing when that happened. So a little confusion still going forward. Wanted to pass that along, but either way, it sets up Duke on a third down, right near midfield at a place where they may be in 4-down territory.
That's Higgins in motion. Carolina bringing 5. Leonard a quick throw, and the catch is made. Jalen Calhoun holds on at the 46 of the Blue Devils. So it's about 4th and 5 here, Roddy. And it looks like Porter Wilson's going to come to the field for a punt as DeAndre Boykins took Calhoun out of bounds.
They're going to send out the punt team, and
I'm a little surprised.
I am too, especially, you know, Carolina's going to heat up offensively. The path to winning this game for Duke is keeping the offense on the field. I'm a little surprised too that they're opting to punt.
Down stands at the 11. Porter Wilson flips it over. Josh will run forward and signal for the fair catch. He got hit. Flags go down. Duke recovered the deflection. Well, now here's our New York Life Drive recap. The Carolina touchdown a moment ago, Roddy, wrapped in a little controversy.
Yeah, this was the Dwayne Carter play where he's called for roughing the passer, unnecessary roughness. He didn't agree with it. I didn't agree with it. But Carolina took advantage of it. Drake Maye, just like he's been doing all year, using his legs, a deep pass to Josh Downs, where Downs goes up and gets it over near the sideline, and then Elijah Green plunges 1 yard into the end zone. 1 carry, 1 touchdown. It's pretty good work for a running back.
Yep, Tar Heels with a 3-point lead. Duke had 5 plays and the punt on their second possession. So May and the Tar Heels going to go back to work off their 22. Miami already a winner. They're 1-1 in the Coastal Division. Pittsburgh not playing today. They have a loss in the Coastal Division. Duke has a loss in the Coastal Division. Carolina trying to take hold, posting their 3rd ACC win if they can find a way tonight. Hood on the little route to the flat on the far side of the field picks up 4. 2nd and 6 will be the next play for Carolina.
You know, if the Duke has really played from ahead the entire game, this is a big stop for this Duke defense. Let Carolina go up by certainly 2 scores.
There's May, another pitch. This is Hood turning the corner. Caleb Hood knocked out of bounds and just shy of the first down, the 31 by Darius Jordan.
Coaching staff told us that Caleb Hood really started to separate himself from the other guys in that room with his balanced plays. He's shown that when he's healthy, he is very good.
Carolina 4 for 6 tonight on 3rd down. Drake Maye, open field, and Shaka Hayward will tackle him at the 46, and a flag comes down. And it's going to be on the Tar Heels.
Holding, number 11, offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat 3rd down.
Okay, the foul occurs. The marker was at the 46.
Should be like 3rd and 4, I think.
Well, no, because if the play occurred at the 46, did he achieve the first down?
Pulls him down.
Yeah, it's first down.
There you go.
So spot foul does cost Carolina 10 yards, but
Yep.
May had already eclipsed the first down. Green has come back in to spell Hood. And here is Elijah Green. Flag thrown as he breaks midfield to the 47, but I think this is another hold on Carolina. Pickett the tackle.
Holding, offense, number 52. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
Jonathan Adorno.
You see the right guard right here, Jonathan Adorno. That's who they called it on. See, trying to disengage Yeah, an arm around. It's become a little bit of a sloppy game here in the second half. A little choppy with all the flags being thrown.
Yeah, each team missing a starter in the offensive line tonight. William Barnes not going. Adorno the start for the Tar Heels. Here's Maye, going to take the shot and underthrows J.J. Jones, who quite frankly had turned the corner against Pickett.
The play was not designed to go to this side, but Carolina's done a nice job, whether the ball's being thrown to him or not, of running by these defensive backs of Duke. That ball just underthrown. Drake Maye knew it too. As soon as they sees that ball hit the ground, he was pretty bummed about that throw.
Drake's 15 of 23, 231, a couple of scores tonight. Maye will keep it. And Shaka Hayward the tackle right around the 33-yard line. It'll leave Carolina 3rd and a dozen.
Now the question is, what can Rob Smith do? What can he dial up as Carolina goes with tempo? They did not sub. Duke is trying to substitute.
See how many of the Blue Devils bring here. 6 in the box. Tar Heels giving them a chance to find their feet. Here's Maye, eludes the rush of Mausi, throws, caught. Antoine Green, first down to the 49. In traffic, Antoine Green holds on. Dwayne Carter the tackle, and he's slow to his feet for the Blue Devils. And we're going to get a timeout. They're going to check on Dwayne Carter. Carolina converts the first down. .431 to go here in the third. Drake Maye, a little worse for the wear, maybe, Roddy. Darius Joyner here a moment ago, and after the play and on the ground, you see number 1, a little step on the hand.
Yeah, I'm going to call that unintentional, but it's a rivalry game.
Here is Maye from the pocket, looping for downs, and he holds on at the 20-yard line. Holy smokes, what a grab by Josh Downs. Jalen Stinson, I thought, had terrific coverage.
He did, and Josh Downs just once again goes up, and he is so good at high pointing the football when the defensive back has their back turned. Hope he's okay, though. Came off the field quickly.
31-yard play. Elijah Green inside the 10 to the 5, and a second career touchdown for Green.
And this Carolina offense feels like it's got its rhythm back, feels like it's got its mojo back a little bit after being starved of the football in the first half, having a couple of mistakes, a self-inflicted wound with a turnover here in the second half. They have been hitting on all cylinders.
Burnett for the point. 21 straight by the Tar Heels, Roddy.
When you need plays to be made, this Carolina team, Josh Downs has made them his entire career. Great ball skills to go up and secure it. I mean, that's just strong hands, incredible athletic ability, leaping ability, high pointing the football, bringing it down. And then the run by Elijah Green, running over a couple of defenders, getting in the end zone. This Carolina offense, the running the football, they've sort of gotten it, they've done a good job of getting back into it during this game. And that's a strong run by Elijah Green. Great balance, great feel to kind of roll off of that tackle and get in the end zone.
Well, while Carolina's run game has started to click, Duke's run game that was surging the Blue Devils in half one only has 2 yards here in half two.
And go back to the last drive of the first half. It was massive for Carolina to get that touchdown. That 21 unanswered, 14 of those in the third quarter, 7 of those right before halftime, and a very efficient, methodical drive down the field. to get in the end zone there, give yourself a good feeling going into halftime, regroup, come out. Defense got to stop, and now the offense, a couple stops from the defense, and now the offense is really rolling.
Barnett has Samir Hagans waiting. And there will not be a return by the Blue Devils, so their third possession of the second half will start from the 25. Don't forget, when we're done here tonight, ACC Huddle After Dark, if you will, post-game. Jordan Cornette, EMAC, EJ Manuel. We'll see how that relationship stands with Mark Richt.
The way the score of the game has gone, EJ's got a lot of time to figure out his feelings.
Highlights, analysis, interviews, you name it, they'll have you covered. The ACC Huddle is right here on ACC Network and always available to you on the ESPN app. Are you saying that whatever the wager was leans towards EMAC at this moment?
He's got the whole fourth quarter to work himself through the stages of grief. But 34-14, that game's over.
Wow. Here is Leonard and Duke trying to get started. Calhoun a catch. And then Storm Duck the stop after a throw of 9 to Jalen Calhoun. 39th career start tonight. Calhoun's going to go over 2,000 career snaps tonight as a Blue Devil.
He's played a lot of football, and I think this year they've done the best job of his career of getting him the football consistently. I think Kevin Johns has done fantastic, making sure that his impact players on the perimeter have impacted the game all season.
6 catches, 55 yards tonight for the Greenville, South Carolina native. Here's Leonard from the snap. Long throw and almost picked. Tony Grimes was targeting a ball for Nicky Dalmolin.
This ball just kind of hung up for Riley Leonard. It's a little bit of a throw that you take for granted. He kind of throws it off platform, slings it. You've got to really drive that football to the outside. Tony Grimes had a great shot to pick it off. Would have been a tough pick, diving for the football, but a dangerous throw by Riley Leonard.
3rd and 1. You see Foley and Dalmolin now split. Duke going to run it with Waters, and he's not going to get it. Carolina, who was a swinging door against the Duke run game in the first half, has all of a sudden locked things up. Cedric Gray, the first guy in a chrome helmet there.
It's the perfect way to play a counter play. You get 2 pullers coming from the backside. Cedric Gray just works hole to hole, gap to gap. Watch him here. He's in the middle right there. Watch him work across. Finds the hole, explodes through it. And Duke's keeping the offense on the field. I think you have to in this situation. You're down 10. Carolina's cooking offensively.
Leonard will work from under center. They're going to toss. Waters trying to get to the edge and won't get there. Biggers and Boykins were the first 2 Tar Heels there, Roddy.
You go back to the other 4th down decision where they decided to punt it. Carolina drives down the field and scores. We said it then, the way to win this game for Duke is with your offense on the field. You can't keep giving Carolina turns at it. This was just a nice play by the defense. You get Biggers slipping underneath, able to get in the backfield. Boykins, able to slip under that block and get out there. And then Biggers cleans it up. It's a great play by Carolina on defense.
May will hand to Elijah Green.
Elijah Green, the ball carrier.
Who picks up 2. Boy, Mike Elko, a long look for the 45-year-old native of South Brunswick, New Jersey. Named Duke's 22nd head coach. And a guy who has got a blueprint for success in his career, who waited a long time to be a head coach. And, well, he knows that stage at that play, Roddy, might not pay many dividends. Here's a flea flicker for May, trying to get Morales, and incomplete. Kamari Morales ran a long way on the flea flicker.
Oh, Carolina going for the knockout punch. A little razzle-dazzle, Hood to Downs, back to May, guy in his face. Morales would have had a shot, May just a little too far out of bounds.
So flea flickered, a little double reverse pass.
Yeah, there you go.
Phil Longo. Carolina 6 of 8 on 3rd down. Here's Maye in trouble. He'll be sacked. Blue Devils come up with the sack out of the secondary. Brandon Johnson.
And you get pressure from the right side. Johnson's kind of lined up right over the guard, and sometimes those smaller guys give guards trouble, those offensive linemen trouble, because they can get down so low. And that sack pushes Carolina in a little bit of a no man's land. They're sending out the field goal team.
Noah Burnett, it is a 47-yarder at Appalachian State. This is his longest kick as a Tar Heel. This is 51 3/4 yards. And on the way, and no good. Missed it to the left.
What a stop for Rob Smith's crew in that Duke defense. So massive. Your defense goes. I mean, your offense goes for it, and your defense comes up with a big stop. That's huge. And there's been a lot of talk about analytics and decision making. You're kind of backed up, so you had to do it there. But part of the thing that's factored into it is the percentage chance that your defense gets a stop, forces a field goal attempt, and it misses. And Mac disappointed that his offense wasn't able to put the game out of reach by putting it in the end zone.
Yeah, so's Phil Longo too, Roddy.
Yeah.
So Duke takes over at its 34. Jaquez Moore, the running back. Remember, Jalen Coleman is a no-go tonight, missing his 2nd straight game for the Blue Devils. Best field position to start a drive, and Moore trying to get free, and Power Eccles takes him down.
Power Eccles, number 23, with the stop.
I know Carolina is without one of, you've got a list of favorites in this league, right? I mean, let's just be honest. You do. We follow the league every week. We
mostly nose cards.
Talk about play. Ray Bahasic is one of your favorite players in the league, right?
And he has been for, it seems like, 10 years.
Yeah.
That's how long he's been there.
Well, fair point. Here's a throw. Leonard coming back near side. Heck of a catch. And the grab by Malik Bowen Sims. It's his 2nd catch of the year and the 10th of his Duke career. Ray Bahasic, I know, was one of your favorites. I'm going to guess that Power Eccles has moved on to the Roddy Jones list.
Power Eccles is up there, man. Just feels like an old school linebacker. And he's been a bright spot for a Carolina defense that struggled this year. And going into the 4th quarter, I mean, with a 10-point lead, a lot's going to be on this defense.
Yep. Dwayne Carter and the Blue Devils have the ball, but they trail 10. We go to quarter 4 in Durham next. Out here battling for the victory bell tonight. Some on the field, some in the stands. Right?
Like Raiden from Mortal Kombat.
Tough 4th quarter for the Blue Devils. Carolina gets 2 Elijah Green touchdowns. Duke ends up running in the second 16 plays, just better than 40 yards, Roddy, in the 3rd quarter for the Blue Devils.
Riley Leonard, 106 rush yards in the first half, only 3 after halftime.
Midfield, 1st and 10, start quarter 4. Leonard the throw, and that ball's caught, but out of bounds to Jordan Moore. That was fired into the Tar Heel bench. So 2nd down and 10. Carolina 165 of offense in quarter 3. Duke had 68 total.
The Duke run game hasn't been nearly as effective in the 2nd half. You got to credit Gene Chizik and his crew.
Yep. That's Bowen Sims in motion. Play fake. Here's Leonard looking for help. Fires it back for Dalmolin. A terrific grab. Against DeAndre Boykins, Nicky Dalmolin hauls in a 30-yarder.
We get the quarterback rolling out to the left off the play action. Dalmolin slips across the formation and then up the field, gets a step on DeAndre Boykins, and then makes a fantastic catch, high pointing the football. For what we've seen, a couple really nice catches from Josh Downs, and now a really good run from Nicky Dalmolin downfield.
Had 8 catches, including a touchdown at Georgia Tech that got the game to overtime last week in the last 3 games. Here's Leonard going to throw for the end zone. Hagens caught it. Touchdown, Duke.
offense. Couple shots down the field to start the fourth quarter. And they're able to put the ball in the end zone. Kevin John's crew is not going away quietly, and Mike Elko has to be proud of what his offense, the response that his offense just gave.
Charlie Ham to add the point, to cut it back to a 3-point game. Early in the fourth, the victory bell hanging in the balance, and the Blue Devils answer. Terrific throw. Riley Leonard first to Dalmolin, and then dials Samir Hagans. Duke to within 3 when we continue from Wallace Wade. Well, Samir Hagans, his second touchdown catch of the year. He had 3 receptions in the last 3 games, and Duke on the board for the first time since late in the second quarter, Roddy.
It was a big one. It was a statement. Certainly a boost of momentum for this Duke team.
And there will be a return by Hampton. 20, 25, and out to the 28 goes the freshman Amari and Hampton. And another look.
This is the touchdown. You're going to get Samir Hagans, who's going to go on a slant and go. And when he does it, watch at the top of the route, the eyes of Tony Grimes. Freezer right there, guys. You got the eyes inside. Meanwhile, Hagans is wheeling up the boundary, and he's going to be wide open. Riley Leonard does a nice job with the throw, places it right where it needs to be. And then check the eyes of Riley Leonard. Looks at the safety, makes sure he's got what he likes. With a little pump fake, and he knows it when he lets it go that he's likely got a touchdown.
Hagans had a punt return for a score in Atlanta last Saturday. Touchdown catch tonight at home. And another delay of game on Carolina to start a possession. Second time that's happened tonight.
First down.
It's an operational thing that Mac Brown has to get fixed. And these officials aren't, their job isn't to wait for you to start the play clock.
8th penalty, 61 yards tonight on Carolina. Hood. And Caleb Hood gets bottled up after a gain of maybe 2. Darius Joyner, Jamian Franklin, the Notre Dame transfer from a couple of years ago, who led Duke in sacks coming into tonight. Maye going to empty the backfield, has time, shoots it for downs. What a catch in traffic with Brandon Johnson hanging on him at the 31.
It's a great catch. I want to point out the play that Darius Joyner made, though. He had an opportunity to clean up downs on the back end. Watch one come into your picture. He's going to pull off and not make the play. Those are the types of plays that targeting is taken out of the game. Nice job by Joyner.
Hood will be tackled inbounds at the 34, and we got a flag again here behind the play. It's against Carolina for a hold. Mike Elko's got to decide. He's going to decline.
Holding. Number 65 offense. That penalty's declined. It will be 4th down.
I think a little too far back for Mac Brown. You're going to look on the left side of your screen. Nice spin there by Carter. Pulled down to the ground. Mac Brown going to send out the punt team. You know, these are the situations where you consider all the inputs, consider what the book says about going forward in this situation, consider the way you're feeling about your offense, the way your defense is playing. Mac Brown elects the punt.
Calhoun will wait on the Kiernan punt. And from the 18, here's Jalen Calhoun back for 3 yards to the 21. 48-yard punt, minimal return. Duke trails 3 with the ball when we come back.
Bernard fields it at the 26, heading to the far side. Gio at the 35. Gio, he's at the 50. No, he's not. Yes, he is. Gio, he's gonna take it for a touchdown. Are you kidding me?
Hard to believe it's 10 years ago. Jones Angell, the radio call on the Tar Heel Sports Network. That was the debut of the chrome helmets, Roddy. And chrome helmets became a thing.
Yeah, they did.
Don't wear them often, but they brought them out tonight for the Battle of the Victory Bell. And, of course, State Carolina's a thing. Duke State don't get played enough. Will in the new scheduling format, right?
Oh.
And, of course, this tonight, the Battle for the Victory Bell, the 109th meeting between the two. First down play for the Blue Devils. Terry Moore, who has had some moments here tonight, picks up about 4 to the 25, 2nd and 6.
We've not seen Riley Leonard nearly as involved in the run game as he was in the first half. I'm Kevin Johns. Pick your spots. Have him pull one.
After the Leonard to Hagan's touchdown, Duke forces Carolina their first 3 and out. Now 2nd and 6, and trying to get Moore fired up in the run game again. Close to a first down, and we'll have it. If the spot is true, Tony Grimes on the stop near the 32-yard line. So Duke is back kind of to the ground game here, Roddy, that was paying off so well for him in half one.
And Andre Harris, a right tackle, just pushes Kamen Rucker up the field to create a little bit of a hole for those pullers to wrap around and get a gain for a first down.
Leonard throws, batted away. Tar Heels got Giovanni Biggers there in coverage on a ball for Dalmola.
Trying to get just a few yard gain on first down. It's another one of those where there was a really good coverage, and it can be a little bit of a dangerous throw with Biggers right there, only able to get one hand over and knock it down, but he was all over that.
2nd and the full 10 here for Duke. Leonard will try and get something out of it. And maybe to the 34. Just shy of the 34 for 3rd down.
Riley Leonard may have bailed a little early on that one. The pocket was good. They had the blitz picked up. You had a nickel blitz, and the running back looked like he was going to have a shot to contact him. Leonard saw some space, decided to go, but Miles Murphy did a good job sort of pushing him towards the sideline. Now you're going to get a 3rd and 9.
Duke's got 3 to the field. Pancol to the boundary, top of your screen. And Leonard to throw. In traffic, caught. Coming across the field. Eli Pancol. First down, Duke in Carolina territory at the 38. 28 yards.
It's just a simple shallow cross coming across the field. He's released, it's zone coverage. Leonard does a good job of maneuvering in the pocket, able to deliver an accurate ball. And check this out, guy Noah Taylor in his face. He knows he's gonna get hit, still puts it on the 6 of Eli Pancol, who gets up the field. They raved about his competitiveness and his drive.
Leonard 213 yards now on 18 of 25. He's been a factor in the run game. They're going to double reverse, try to flip it back. Moore drops it incomplete. And for Duke, they ought to be glad Terry Moore dropped it, or else they're probably going to lose, Roddy, close to 10 yards.
It was the best case scenario for Duke. It's the exact same play that we saw from Carolina. You get the reverse flea flicker, and then it's covered well down the field. Worked out well for Duke, actually, by Terry Moore dropping it.
Boy, Javari Ritzie almost single-handedly destroyed the play for Carolina defensively.
I'll tell you what, it's an impressive looking defensive line for Carolina. They are big.
There's Waters trying to find room. Spins back, steps through, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Duke in front. Yards.
What an incredible run by Jordan Waters. This play is dead to rights, and Carolina fans around the country expressing their frustrations, not just the ones in the stadium.
to make it a 4-point game with 10-12 to go. Charlie Ham's point is good. Well, we got a thing now, don't we?
How about the swings of this game? Duke was down 10. They scored 14 straight. Watch the cutback. Carolina's got it wrangled. A missed tackle there. A wise sort of tap on the shoulder downfield by Eli Pankole. Jordan Waters sprints into the end zone, but the vision and the athleticism to cut back. Some poor tackling on the Carolina Tar Heels front, and Moore ends up in the end zone.
Second touchdown run of the night for Waters. He scored the first Duke touchdown on a 2-yard run, and now he's scored from 38. Duke had 2 yards of rushing in quarter 3, Roddy. They had 51 on that drive.
Yeah. Getting back to it, and I mean, the back and forth nature of any rivalry game is certainly going to be evident, but the ebbs and flows of this game have been pretty big. I mean, Duke controlled a lot of the first half. Carolina most at the beginning of the second half, but now Duke back in front.
Short kick. Hampton juggles it into the end zone. And it'll be a touchback.
Into the end zone, touchback.
Duke thought they had a safety. The ball broke the plane into the end zone. It'll be a touchback to the 25.
And you can fumble the ball, you can muff the ball into the end zone and still kneel it. I'm not sure Amarion Hampton was completely confident in that, but fumbling the ball and it goes into the end zone, you can still kneel it down and be able to create a touchback. Let's go down to Taylor.
Yeah, Roddy, you mentioned when this Duke team was down 10 points to start the fourth quarter, coaches challenged them for a fourth quarter fight. Keep in mind, they were down their biggest deficit of 14 points to Georgia Tech last week, came back and forced overtime. They wanted to see fight, and they've shown it.
Maye for Antoine Green, who can't hang on. The coverage by Pickett on a long throw to Green, similar to the one that opened the ball game for Carolina offensively.
It's a little underthrown by Drake Maye. Antoine Green runs right by Joshua Pickett. He's probably pass interference too on the back end. I mean, Green's trying to come back to the ball. Pickett contacts him, clearly impedes his ability to catch the football. Darius Joyner looks like he's kind of worried about it as well. I think Duke may have gotten away with one there.
Second down 10, ball at the 25. Quick throw in the flat. Here's Elijah Green circling to the perimeter, and it'll be 3rd and short after Joyner helps him out at the 33. Bryson Nesbitt trying to get Green some running room. The tight end on the perimeter. Caleb Hood will come in for 3rd and short. And with 9:46 to go and down 4, Carolina quickly gets lined up here. 2-by-2 look.
Carolina getting a chance to see what Duke lines up in. They're switching defense. They had 2 safeties deep just a second ago. Now 1 safety in the middle of the field.
Here is Maye. Quick throw. Downs drags a foot at the 39. First down.
That's his best catch of the night, because he's got to go up to get this ball while keeping a foot on the ground. I mean,
that is sick.
That's impressive.
That is sick.
Foot clear down on the grass, drags it. That's a football catch right there.
7 for 103 tonight for Josh Downs.
Oh, now they review one.
You see the 9 targets. So we'll step aside. Gary Patterson to review. We're back after this. Don't forget ACC PM hosted every weekday afternoon. Mark Packer, Taylor Tannenbaum, Trey Boston, all the football plus the latest news from around the conference. Don't forget about Chester and Fuller too, fellows. Weekdays 4 Eastern, ACC PM on ACC Network right here on the ESPN app. The catch is confirmed. Carolina from the 39, 1st and 10. Trailing 4. Maye shoots it again and held on that time by Downs across the 50 to the Duke 49. Josh Downs already with his 7th 100-yard game of his career, his 2nd this season. He now has 8 for 115. Maye has his 5th career game with over 300 yards tonight, Roddy.
There's a little bit of a feel that if Carolina's going to do this thing, it's going to be going to their best player, Josh Downs.
Maye backing up, throws, and it's caught. Kobe Paysor makes his first appearance in the ball game, Roddy, and makes his 17th catch of the year.
The throw is impressive because Drake Maye has a defender draped all over him, and then the catch on the back end by Kobe Paysor, who's done a nice job this year, especially when Josh Downs was out.
Dwayne Carter the stop. Here's another throw. Paysor the catch. Out of bounds. He only had 2 catches in the last 3 ball games coming in. He's had 2 catches on back-to-back plays here tonight.
He didn't play last week against Miami, but he's come back and started to make an impact now. Carolina started to line Josh Downs up on this drive alone to the top of the screen to the boundary.
Play fake by Maye. Trouble coming. Throws. And incomplete before it bounced into the hands of Dwayne Carter. R.J. Oben was draped all over Drake Maye.
The question is going to be, this one did not look like the first one where the hand is empty coming forward, being a fumble. I think the arm starts to move forward before that ball comes out, I believe.
Yep.
Arm starts to go forward.
They're going to review it anyway.
Yeah, I think they should.
You convinced?
Complete forward pass. Previous play is under further review.
Based on the looks that we have seen, I don't know how you can overturn the call on the field.
All right. Gary Patterson back to review. We check in a moment. (35-31) Duke, 7.5 to go in the 4th, and Roddy, Gary Patterson's been looking at this the entire time we've been in commercial break.
As have we, and we've gone back and forth over and over. We saw this look before the break, and it looks like as the momentum of the hand starts to change, the ball is still in his hand, but the looks from the front tell a little bit different story. That ball looks like when it starts to come forward, it's out of his hand. I think it stands, but we'll see.
After further review, it was determined that it was a fumble immediately recovered by Duke at the 38-yard line. 1st and 10 for Duke at the 38-yard line on the right hash.
The Blue Devils calling card, Roddy, is fumble recoveries. And tonight in their 7th game, they've recovered 2 of them. And it's the only 2 turnovers of the ballgame.
The first one, a self-inflicted wound by Carolina. That one created by the Duke defense. We went back and forth on this one. It was sort of 51-49 for me. I thought it would stand, but I mean, the ball coming out of the hand before the hand changes momentum. It was close. It was very close, but it goes Duke's way.
Off the 38, Dalmolin gets 6 to the 44 on 1st down.
And now you look at where Duke is, up 4. If you can punch this in the end zone and go up 11, it's going to be a tall mountain for Carolina to climb, particularly the Carolina defense that hasn't been able to force stops because they would need one down the stretch. They're going to continue to work the clock as well.
Both schools 3 timeouts. Jordan Waters, who's got 2 touchdown runs, including the one that gave Duke the lead a series ago with Leonard. Here's Waters, and right into the mix of Kevin Hester. And it will be 2nd down and 6, no gain on the play, or 3rd down and 6, no gain on the play.
Big 3rd down here. 3rd and 6. If you're Duke, I would get something with Riley Leonard on the perimeter where he has the ability to run the football, or maybe something quick where he can throw it and then you give him the ability to take off.
Leonard wants to throw. To his right, can run for the 1st down and gets it. Maybe the best play Duke had in the first half pays dividends for him in the second half.
And it kind of looked like Ra Dilworth in the Carolina defense anticipated a slide or something. Looks like they pull off here at the end of the quarterback. Watch his Carolina defenders. Just runs right by him. Confusing at what he was looking at, but Leonard with a big conversion with his legs.
A dive to the 48 of the Tar Heels. Duke by 4.
And now if you're Duke, you're thinking we are going to run as much time off the clock as we can while obviously trying to get points on the board.
That's Calhoun in the orbit. Leonard will keep and pick up 4 to the 44. Desmond Evans, the tackle for Carolina. And now Carolina's fighting Duke, the clock, Roddy.
And the longer this takes for Duke to, if Carolina doesn't get a stop here, like if Duke were to get another first down,
right?
Now you're starting to worry about not having the opportunity, not having enough time to get 2 scores in the game.
Duke's got 476 tonight of total offense. Leonard, hands, Waters, first down. Inside the 35, go the Blue Devils to the Tar Heel 33. Cameron Kelly out of the secondary makes the stop on Jordan Waters.
Right side of that offensive line just caves everything down. You can see the eyes of Andre Harris climbing to the next level. And powering forward was Jordan Waters.
He's got 77 yards on 14 carries and 2 touchdowns tonight. You see the run number for Duke. And Kevin Johns and Mike Elko have got the clock management, Roddy, at A+ right now.
Yeah, they have. And they have all game.
Waters again. Tries to find some room. Here's the cutback. And he gets thrown out of bounds by Grimes. That stops the clock.
But it only stops the clock briefly. The clock will continue to roll because we're not under 2 minutes.
Yep.
So it doesn't kill you to go out of bounds either way. But again, Waters with the cutback. It's similar to what we saw on the touchdown run. Now if you're Mac Brown, you are really counting on your defense. And you might start to think about using your timeouts too.
Right. Because the clock can go down to about 3:20 before you snap it here. Here's Leonard. This is Moore. And the tackle from Ritzy. That's Jaquez Moore. We got all sorts of Moores. Jaquez Moore, you got Terry Moore, and you got the wide receiver Jordan Moore.
Yeah, so the thing that Mac Brown's counting on is a field goal here.
Right.
Because at this point, it's going to be tough to get 2 scores. If Duke scores a touchdown, I mean, that's an uphill climb.
Roddy, it's second down here and under 3 minutes to go. And I know you got all the books and all the charts and everything here, but you got to think about using one of the timeouts.
Yeah, and I think they will, but you want to save one for your drive, too.
Sure.
So I don't mind him letting the clock run here. If you get a stop after this one, that's when you start to maybe use one.
There's Jaquez Moore. He'll be brought down shy of the first down. So it'll be 3rd down and 2, and there is the first of the 3 Carolina timeouts with 2:32 to go.
I mean, the thing that you're worried about if you're a Carolina fan, the defense hasn't shown they can stop the run on this drive. So Mac Brown calls the timeout. And if I'm Gene Chizik, I mean, this is sell out right here. You are, I mean, it's man-to-man coverage on the outside, cover 0, nobody in the middle of the field, nobody helping. They get it in the end zone. It's kind of whatever because you got your offense back on the field. You certainly don't want it, but make them take a low percentage shot if they want to. And I don't think Duke wants to. This is going to be a run for Gene Chizik. Excuse me, for Kevin Johns. So you got to sell out here. Everybody around the line of scrimmage is trying to stop the run.
A team that had just, what, a handful of yards in the 3rd quarter running has 47 alone on this drive. It's almost as if, Roddy, they refound the file on what worked run-wise after Carolina made some adjustments maybe at halftime.
Well, it's sort of been the punch-counter-punch sort of deal. They had a lot of success getting on the edges of Carolina. Carolina not keeping contained in the first half. And then in the second half, Carolina made some adjustments. Well, Duke has adjusted to that. Much more zone stuff, cut back wide open. The biggest third down of the game.
That's Kevin Johns, who joined Mike Elko from the Memphis staff as their OC the last couple of years. Done a terrific job tonight. And here's the third down play. Waters will sneak through. There is a flag dropped at the snap. So the clock stops on an apparent first down run.
Illegal shift offense. 2 players move, not getting set for this 5-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
What a massive operational mistake for Duke. Just not giving time to let both players get set before Dalmolin starts to go in motion. And the penalty actually occurs before that. You had shifting going on, and those players that shift have to be set before you can then send the motion. They did not give enough time. And Carolina gets a second life at this.
You throw it here?
You have to try and get the first down. Whatever you think the best opportunity to get the first down is, clock it regardless. The only way you can seal this thing is by getting the ball in the end zone. So yeah, if I would throw it here, or a quarterback draw.
3rd and 7. Leonard wants to throw. Going to take the shot for Calhoun, who holds on. That's a Duke touchdown. There's a flag down on the play.
Number 55.
Oh my goodness.
Number 7. Offense. 15-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
Andre Harris ticketed with a chop block, and it will negate a touchdown pass and terrific catch by Jalen Calhoun.
Well, it's 55 and number 7. It takes 2 on these chop blocks. You're going to get Andre Harris engaged up top, and then Waters goes down low. It's kind of right at the hip, but that is a high-low, and it negates a second conversion for Duke that really would have put the game away. That one would have put the game away, or would have made it really tough for Carolina, because I've seen crazy things happen in rivalries involving Carolina.
So now it is 3rd and almost 2 dozen.
Now, Wes, I think you run the football and you try and draw that last time out, or that second time out for Mac Brown.
Leonard gonna tuck and run, and taken down at the 26. Carolina uses their second timeout with 2:14 to go on the Biggers tackle.
What a turn of events. I mean, Duke converts twice on third downs, but negated by, honestly, by plays that didn't have much to do with the results. The illegal shift certainly didn't affect what went on after. And then the chop block, and that ball was out quick enough where had neither one of them, or had only one of them touched the defender, they probably get the ball off. It's a touchdown, and they're up 11. But now it's going to be Charlie Ham on a field goal. Charlie Ham has been pretty good under 50 yards, which this one will be.
His longest field goal ever attempted was 56 last year at Carolina.
Missed the 52-yarder at the end of the game against Georgia Tech. This one's going to be from 43 and a half.
Yep. To make it a 7-point lead for the Blue Devils with 2:14 to go. Jackson Hubbard holds. Kick from Ham is no good.
24-yard attempt is no good.
So a missed field goal by Ham. And now it's 4 points, 2:09 to go, and Carolina will get the ball at its 26.
Well, that entire operation just seemed off from the start. The snap is low. The hold gets up, but that field goal attempt never really had a chance. And Carolina somehow gets out of that without giving up points. 2:09, one timeout, and Drake Maye on the field.
Caleb Hood in the backfield, 3 receivers to the field for Maye, who looks that way. Long throw, and that is J.J. Jones. Breaking away, up near midfield is Jones. Had a big touchdown catch last week at Miami. He fires off on play one here.
Just get it to him quick. Coming from inside out is Tony Davis. They go with more experience on the outside. Davis not able to bring him down, though. Carolina already at midfield.
Here's Maye, slips it to Hood. He'll ride a block to the 45. And down to about the 40, there's going to be a flag thrown. It could be a face mask.
It's going to be a face mask
on the Blue Devils.
Personal foul, face mask, number 42, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Shaka Hayward. Arguably one of the most veteran defenders Duke has. 2,916 snaps coming into tonight, Roddy.
Peeling off the football, peeling off the block, just grabs the face mask. Carolina in 2 plays has covered a lot of ground.
Sure have. And now what do we have? A whistle stops play. Antoine Green was the receiver to the boundary. Snap to Maye. Now Duke there. Drake's got to do something with it going down, trying to slide it toward Antoine Green. Are they going to rule it sack? Dwayne Carter, I think, got to him. They're going to rule it as a sack.
Dwayne Carter has shown up in the second half.
Boy, has he.
Fumble recovery and then the pass rush. It's actually kind of made by the pressure on the other side. Drake Maye tries to get it out, but not before his knee hits.
2nd and long. Here's Maye. He's going to tuck it away and run to the 20. That'll leave Carolina with 3rd down and about 5.
And they're fine. You don't need a timeout here.
Caleb Hood's hurt.
Caleb Hood is hurt. And normally in those situations, you'd have him go down, but that'd be subject to a 10-second runoff or having to use that timeout. Wise of him to get off the field.
Elijah Green's come back in. He's got 2 second-half touchdowns for Carolina. Here's Maye. Looking. Now we'll get back to the 20 before he's brought down by Vincent Anthony. That's VJ Anthony, the very talented freshman.
Vincent Anthony, 6'6", 240 pounds. He is going to be an absolute monster by the time he gets out of here. But the timeout sets up 4th down for Carolina. And this is for the ball game, essentially. Well, Longo going to draw up something. I mean, I think you have to find Josh Downs. You have to find 11. And they tried to there. I actually thought they had him on the play. Carolina's been excellent on 4th downs this year. The only team better than them on 4th downs percentage-wise is Clemson. And coming into this weekend, they'd only gone for 3 and converted all 3. But it comes down to this for Rob Smith's crew.
Well, they've been battling since late November 1888 when Duke, known as Trinity, beat Carolina in Raleigh of all places, 16-0. They've been playing since 1948 for the victory bell. They've split the last 10 meetings. Snap to Maye. He'll move to the left and throw. It's caught. Downs inside the 10, knocked out of bounds. 1st and goal, Carolina.
He had a little option route. Josh Downs better separate himself before he costs his team. Option route goes back outside, gets open. Drake Maye just slides in the pocket. He was getting pressured, slides, tosses it out to Downs. I think wise of Carolina. Downs not on the field. Calm him down a little bit. It's crucial time. He's fiery.
Maye's got a career high 371 yards tonight, Roddy, on 27 of 38. Play fake to Green. Maye up in the pocket to his right. And he will dive for a yard. And now we're inside 30 seconds. Carolina cannot waste time.
You have to throw that one away if you're Drake Maye unless you're getting in the end zone.
And they spike it to stop the clock with 21 seconds left. So now it's 3rd and goal.
In that situation, I know Drake Maye's trying to make a play, But unless you think you can score or get to the sideline, throw it away and save the time, because now you've essentially wasted a play. You had 4 shots for the end zone, but because you're tackled in bounds, now you only have 3. You had to spike the football. You have to get 2 more. So as a young quarterback, you cannot take a sack here. You absolutely cannot. Only 21 seconds left on the clock. You take a sack, you're going to be in scramble mode to toss it into the end zone on 4th down.
Antoine Green to the boundary, 3 receivers to the field.
Josh Downs right there.
Here's Maye, pressure coming, going to turn, throw toward Green! Touchdown, Carolina!
The veteran Antoine Green working back to the football, making the biggest play of this game. They're looking at it now. They're going to review it. The question is, did he step out without being forced before he catches the football? The answer is yes. That heel looked like it was on the line right before Wes. He's clearly in. But as he comes back, watch this right foot. Right there. Oh, actually, there's a little, you can see a little bit of green right there. Oop, wrong button. A little bit of green right next to Antoine Green's foot. That white cleat, I think there's a sliver. There's certainly not enough to overturn it. I thought we saw it on the first look, but I think he's inbounds there. He clearly catches it inbounds.
That's the question right there, the left foot.
What you're looking for, white cleat, white line. You're looking for anything dark in between them.
Right.
And it may be a millimeter, but there's something there, it looks like.
Boy, this 4th quarter has lived up to the hype of the rivalry, hasn't it?
It certainly has. What a series of twists and turns. I mean, Duke has 2 conversions on the other side, both negated by penalties. And then Carolina with the drive down, 4th down conversion. And then on a 3rd down, able to find the end zone with Antoine Green in a play that I would anticipate at the bare minimum is going to stand.
Gary Patterson, a long look here. But Roddy, it's down to that moment.
Yeah.
The left foot, right?
It is. I think it's very clear that he's in when the play, or when he catches the football. There's another look. Well, I just don't know how you can overturn the call based on the stuff that we've seen. I mean, you're back and forth a little bit. Call on the field was a touchdown. It's about as long a review as we've had all night.
Think about the bang-bang plays. The Maye, Dwayne Carter, the fumble situation on the R.J. Oben hit. Here's Patterson.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Nine plays, 74 yards in a minute 53. And 8 yards to Antoine Green. And Burnett to make it a 3-point game. Snap high, kick is through. Mac Brown's team back in front.
Excitement from Antoine Green when the call was made that it was going to stand, the play was going to stand. Disappointment for Duke, who's fought all game long. Obviously, Carolina fans elated. 16 seconds left on the clock, though. Duke can get in range of a long field goal. They had to try out Charlie Ham for a 52-yarder a week ago. Got all 3 timeouts. I mean, you're probably only going to have time for about 3 plays. But you can use the entire field with those 3 timeouts. You can use stuff in the middle of the field. And if you're Carolina, you're trying to squib this thing. And the coaching point for the kickoff return team for Duke is, unless you're way backed up, unless the squib makes it all the way back towards the goal line and it's stopping, you're getting on the ball and falling on it right there. And if it does get towards the 15, 10, 5 and it's a little hot, you think it has a chance to get in the end zone. You're trying to save every single second that you can.
Tell you what, in the history of this rivalry, there have been incredible plays. Most recently, Jamison Crowder across the end line of the end zone, right, to make a score to win the game. Chaz Surratt's interception a couple of years ago with Duke driving at Kenan Stadium. And now here tonight, you've seen just incredible shifts of momentum. Burnett will hang this high. Stinson will let it bounce in the end zone, and Duke has 3 timeouts and 16 seconds left, trailing 3 from its 25.
All right, so ideally you'd like to get to around the 30-yard line so you can attempt a 50-yard field goal. That's big chunks that you're going to have to get. But if you can get to the 45-ish, then you're in Hail Mary range where you're at least tossing it in the end zone. Again, with those 3 timeouts, you got plenty of time to use the middle of the field and call a timeout if you get down immediately.
Yep. Duke puts a tight end left, 3 receivers to the field, and Jaquez Moore in the backfield with Riley Leonard. Leonard up in the pocket, going to take a deep shot, and it is caught behind the traffic. A great grab by Jordan Moore at the Carolina 47.
What a throw by Riley Leonard, moving up in the pocket. I mean, it is just over the hand of a Carolina defender right on the sideline. Great throw by Leonard. Now you need about 17 more yards for a long field goal. You're going to run a similar type play. Honestly, you probably call a timeout here and talk about it a little bit. It's only 10 seconds left. Get your best play.
28-yard throw on a dime from Riley Leonard to Jordan Moore. Now Mike Elko's going to use one of the 3 here, Roddy, with 10 seconds left. But to your point a moment ago, he has 2 left. He can throw something in the middle of the field. The problem is you don't have a lot of time for the routes to develop. Duke's got to come up with a bang-bang play here, perhaps.
No, I think you've got enough time. I mean, you got 10 seconds on the clock. You don't have forever, but there's plenty of time to let those routes get down the field. Even if it's in the middle of the field, catch the ball, get down immediately. Has to be obviously past the sticks, so the clock stops. You call an immediate timeout. I mean, you only need 1 second on the clock, so this could be a 9-second play for Duke if they need it. So really, I think the conversation between Mike Elko and Kevin Johns is, hey, look, get us a play to get 15 to 20 yards. That's what we need. It doesn't matter where on the field it happens because you've got those timeouts.
So here's Leonard now, 2 timeouts in 10 seconds. 3 to the field, 2 left to the boundary. Carolina rushes 3. Leonard's going to throw, incomplete. No flag. He was looking for Calhoun, defended by the linebacker Gray. With 6 seconds left. 2nd down.
So I think Cedric Gray does a pretty nice job of taking his hand off of the receiver, at least at the end of that play. And now the question for Duke is, what do you go with? Mike Elko is going to call a timeout. You don't have to throw the Hail Mary from here. You can run a quick play, get it, 5 to 10 more yards before you throw it in the end zone.
And you see him asking Kevin Johns a little down in distance and time management here.
The thing is, how do you want to play it? Because that last play only took 4 seconds.
Yep.
So you can throw that play again, that type play again. Gene Chizik on the other side, kind of in a no man's land. Do you back everybody up in anticipation of the Hail Mary? Or do you have them play normal type defense to prevent a 10, 15-yard throw like the one that just happened? That's sort of the game that these coaches go through over and over and over, the reps at over and over and over. But again, that last play was only 4 seconds.
Right.
So you do have some time if you would like to throw it in the middle. It's a little bit of a risk because if it's not there, you got to trust your quarterback to throw it away immediately.
Please reset the game clock to 7 seconds.
So
you got an extra second.
Yeah.
Well, that's huge.
You just leveraged the second. Duke's got one timeout. Leonard again, a 2-by-2 look. Gonna throw, batted around, and intercepted. Will Hardy has come up with the deflection to end the game. And now a flag has been thrown. 2 flags.
Previous play is under further review.
On the Hardy interception.
Flags are going to be on Mike Elko, who is about on the numbers, giving the officials his opinion on how the end of the game has gone. It's got to be frustrating. You had multiple flags go against his team. He thought he got a pass interference. It didn't get called, but Noah Taylor jumps up, gets the deflection, and it looks like, from that angle, it looks like it's a clean catch on the back end by the freshman Will Hardy.
Hardy, who had a half-dozen tackles against Notre Dame, 5 more against Virginia Tech. True freshman from Lawrenceville, Georgia, has just come up with his first career interception.
Yeah, he has. What a game this has been. And Mike Elko's team fought the whole game, had a chance to win it. And I don't blame Mike Elko for expressing his frustrations with the way that this went down the stretch. But I think this team certainly in really good hands with Mike Elko, in really good hands with Kevin Johns, but just not enough there tonight. And look, I thought Rob Smith's crew on defense acquitted itself fairly decently for most of the game. They gave up some big plays. This is an explosive Carolina offense. It kept him in the game. Catching up with Rob Smith before the game, he was excited about the opportunity.
After
Leonard.
further review, the ruling on the field stands. Interception, North Carolina. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, Duke head coach, 15-yard penalty, will be first down for North Carolina from that spot. That is Duke's head coach first unsportsmanlike of the game.
Will Hardy, the interception. And the Tar Heels can't wait for the victory bell.
It's a pretty gritty performance by this Carolina team. I mean, that defense struggled for large stretches of the game, but in the third quarter, they were good enough to let the offense get them back into it.
And Drake Maye, on a career night of 380 yards and 3 scores, gets a win against Duke to retain the victory bell.
It wasn't always easy for Carolina offensively. In games where you don't have the ball a lot, it's hard to get into a rhythm, and they didn't have the ball a lot in the first half. But down the stretch, Drake Maye, Josh Downs, Antoine Green showed up for this Carolina team. Maye consistently made plays, and when he needed it the most, he went to one of his go-to receivers in Antoine Green.
Well, and tonight, Taylor, Mac Brown wins for the 12th straight time against Duke. Down to you.
He sure does, celebrating with his players. Well, Coach, that one lived up to the hype. What can you say about the grit your team showed tonight?
Well, Taylor, you have to give credit to both teams. I mean, Duke kept coming back. I thought when we stopped them on the 4th and 2, and then we blew it defensive or offensively, or they stepped up and stopped us, that changed the whole momentum of the game. But one of the best things we do is 1-minute offense. And I knew when we had 2 minutes left in the game, after they missed the field goal, we had a great chance to win.
Really a battle of two young quarterbacks who are leading their teams effectively, but yours, Drake Maye, 450 total yards on the night. How proud are you of his growth?
Yeah, Drake just keeps getting better, and he makes play after play. And like the final touchdown, that's who he is. He scrambles, he gets outside the pursuit, and then just finds a guy. Makes a perfect throw.
You told me at halftime the team would need to take advantage of the momentum they got on that final drive before half. It flipped back and forth at times, but they did what was needed to close it out. What are you learning about your team down into this second half of season?
They're very confident, they're resilient, they like each other, and they like to play. And that's really hard to get.
Well, the victory bell heads back to Chapel Hill. Enjoy it, Coach.
Thanks, Taylor. I'm proud of them.
Well, the Tar Heels tonight win for the 4th straight time and for the 6th in the last 9 against Duke, and now lead the overall series 65-40, and there have been 4 ties. And the MVP of the game brought to you by Sports Clips. And Drake Maye, congratulations. Right, Roddy?
380 yards passing, including that one, the game-winning touchdown to Antoine Green. Add on top of that 17 carries for 70 yards. But down the stretch, I mean, created with his legs. Obviously, his arm was fantastic, but a career high in pass yardage. And as Max said, he continues to get better. He wasn't perfect down the stretch, but in the crucial moments when they needed him, he was excellent. And Max Brown said it, when they get the ball back in those type situations, that offense is so good in 1 and 2 minute situations, and a lot of it is because of the quarterback.
Roddy, they are lights out red zone.
Yep, they are.
Yeah.
Coming into this game, they've scored 20 of 25 times in the red zone, and you see the despair on the other side. These rivalry games, there's so much emotion that goes into it, and when you lose them, I've been in those situations, the reality of what the next 365 are going to be. And just the feeling that, hey, this might be the last time that I play this team, and I wasn't able to get over the hump in a close game. It stings. Those are ones that stick with you, and you hate it for Duke, but they treated us to a heck of a ball game.
Drake Maye, our MVP, presented by Sport Clips. Great to be with Roddy Jones, Taylor Davis, our terrific crew. Alex Farmer-Tino produced, Corey Huffman directed. Heck of a night for the battle in the victory bell. Carolina a winner. Here's Jordan Cornette.